Compatriots, we are going to speak to the dwarf which we saved, who is with me.
I must go and learn spells, and then I must shoot gun.
Me and young child will go with you.
Hello, I am Daniel Fatcliffe.
They find dwarf, accuse him of being a warden, and then I noticed my recording software was set up wrong. Hooray.
With a lifetime of regrets and sorrow, you do anything you take to wash away. Does that sound right?
Just kind of, he watches his fists slowly clench and unclench. Just kind of looks up, and you can see his eyes are actually starting to well up a bit with tears. But you can see he's just got his face is just solid. So, almost like just unflinching.
Yeah.
Wait here. Don't worry. Points to the door that's announcing such. That's the only way out. It's not like I can go anywhere. He walks into the other room. You hear the sound of a few things sort of moving. Few objects fall. I just realised as well that even though it was recording, it wasn't recording audio stuff until just now, which pisses me off, but that's fine, because not much happened. And he comes back with a small satchel, and in his other hand a bottle, and he just throws the satchel onto the table nearby, and sits down in a nearby chair, uncorks bottle, begins drinking it, and indicates to the satchel.
Good drink, that.
From what you said, I might as well enjoy it. But to answer part of your question, it'll be in that satchel there.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Well, I'm looking through. And I'm again stare daggers at him to go. Just so you know, if you try anything when I'm going through here, I will slit your throat and let you bleed out in agonizing pain for the next 5 minutes. Do you understand?
I'm an old man, Trofnar. You could overpower me with a hand behind your back.
And then just staring at him, he just sees my eyes just dart downwards to the satchel, grab it, and I just start like feverishly going through it.
So you only find one item in the satchel, and as you pull it out, it's a metal pin, about nearly the size of your palm of your hand. And as you look at it, you can see the emblem of the Wardens of the Worldfire.
Do I recognize this pin?
Make a history check.
Righty. Any kind of advantage for being a... No.
I'll say yeah with advantage, because you were a warden once.
Yeah, boy. History. Fuck. Shit.
I mean, even with that low overall, you do know it's a genuine pin. Like, the engravings and everything are all there. It's a bit worn, but it's clearly a proper pin. Tell me, Trofnar, remind me again. What was your rank in the Wardens?
Lieutenant. I was, by the time I left, I was lieutenant of the Platinum Hold chapter.
Hmm. I was in Platinum Hold as well. That's how, you seem familiar. You probably don't recognize me, or my name.
Can't say I do.
Truth of the matter is, Trufnar, my name's not Tiller Yellowsmith. My name is Larrett Glowhammer, Major of the Platinum Hold Chapter.
I'm guessing I recognize that name.
You vaguely recognize the name. You know the Glowhammer clan, at least at the time, was large. So, you know, while he's part of your clan, he wasn't, like, related to you.
Yeah, what was sorry, what was his first name again?
Larrit. L-A-R-I-T.
L-A-R-I-T.
And you do recognize this one. Even though you haven't seen him much, you know that he was a rather high-ranking member.
Larrett Glow. God bless the gods to make this about family, eh? From what I remember, cousin, you were a man of high standing. What the fuck happened to you?
Well, I found out probably went the same way you did. But I assume you want to know about what happened to the wardens after your little faking of your death.
That would be nice, eh?
I'll save you the long story of Platinum Hold, 'cause odds are if you're here, you probably found some information there. After we got kicked out of Platinum Hold, we pulled back to the areas we had control over. This part of Ansor, Graffield under a Gulmandow Platinum Mithrilhammer, pulled back to those areas. And we kept doing what we were doing.
You never thought of fucking stopping? You had a chance.
Look, lad, you've been part of the Wardens alongside me. You joined for the same reason I probably did. To uphold Morian's wish and to punish the non-believers, but...
Aye, all that shite, aye.
You are right. Or at least partially. He is a bunch of shite. It's not our job to decide if they deserve a place in Morian's forge or not. But I followed because I believed that it was the right thing to do. And then... You ever wonder why the Wardens turn into this essentially genocidal group that they were?
I just thought a particularly vicious type of arsehole got in charge.
No, Mora Flameseeker was leader then. Was when it started. And even though she's gone and passed, Moria Smiter, her son is keeping up the same thing. No. You know much about old legends, boy?
It's been a while since I've thought about them. Old fairy stories to keep youngins in check, aye.
This one isn't one for keeping the youngsters in check. You ever heard of Sun Suraksha?
Have I heard of Sun Suraksha?
Make a history check. Or a religion check, your choice.
Well, I have proficiency in religion. First, I think it's the first time I've ever used my religion proficiency, so this should be fun. Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn off advantage on.
I mean, your first roll was a 22 anyway.
Yeah,
Vaguely, you've heard of it. It's meant to be some ancient city that was blessed by the gods. But tales about it aren't talked about a whole lot.
So unsure, actually. I thought that was all bollocks, and even then it was just the ramblings of madmen.
Aye, but according to Mora, she was given some text about Sunshuraska. Talked about how it was where all life began, that it was above the seas, above the clouds. That part we already knew, but there was an extra bit. I ain't seen the text myself, but I definitely remember it. Burnt into my brain, because it made me realize that everything we've been working towards was for fucking nothing. She said it herself, and as the sun fell into darkness, its streets were being buried in filth. To her, she thought that this city blessed by the gods, because those that didn't believe in them inhabited it. So, that's when she decided anyone not loyal to Morian or the gods should burn.
So the crazy bitch heard the fucking fairy story about a fictional city destroyed for being unfaithful, so she decides to fucking kill people. Is that what you're saying?
'Cause she wants to bring it back, lad. And wants to have it as a monument to Morian. Like you, when I found out, I realized it's a whole bunch of bullshit. And that we weren't striking out against those who wish to sabotage Morian's work. No, we were doing it over a fucking fairy tale. So, you may have heard that people came forward about the wardens in Gruffield. Well, lad, you're looking at the one that brought the warden's deeds to light. Who told them where they were and watched as the warden's mansion was burnt. Bit of ironic justice, if you think.
Quite.
That hammer, and he points at...
Did they die in the blaze, or did they escape?
Doubtful that many of them escaped. Don't forget as well, we had people in under a Gulmandal and Miffelhammer.
Of course. So... you're in the same boat as me then?
No, we're on the same river, but different boats. You've decided to try and take action into your own hand. For me, just takes another swig of the bottle. I am fine, well, not fine. I've accepted what's happened, and should Morian not give me a position on his forge, I'll accept burning forever in the field of lava.
And in Trothan's face, you can see him like just going through like multiple thoughts in his head, just like this is his head swimming with ideas of what to do next. And he goes, right, cousin said it. Want to see? For what you did. What you did and not acting sooner. I can never truly forgive you.
I'm not asking for forgiveness, Trofnar. I know what I've done is inexcusable, and just 'cause I helped get them out of Gruffield ain't gonna pay anyone back enough. I've taken lives, I've taken men, women, children.
You think I fucking haven't?
But you're redeeming yourself, Trafnar. You're dealing with the problem. I'm weak, Trafnar. I may have been a major. But as you can see right now,
Takes another drink from the bottle.
I'm nothing but a weak old man.
Of course. And you say for your actions are bringing some sense of justice to and I say a word in Dwarvish that literally translates to horse vagina, but for practical purposes, it's basically like the common. It's basically the most closest like translation in common would be cunt. I basically say I basically say like well, for your actions that are bringing some kind of justice to those cunts in the Platinum Hall, they have to give my thanks. Also, it was a quite nice surprise to see, at least with the Baronlings coming here, I suppose it was Morian's wisdom to say that it wasn't your hand doing them. So, I take back any of my threats. Not gonna hurt you. Hell, I even thought about leaving you a nice, obvious scar with this little beauty of yours, and I look over to the Dark Iron Hammer, and so I think we're still going by what we believe Morian sees as right or wrong, and what he thinks is the best step for his creations. Might as well leave you to your drink and your memories. If you want, I am offering help for me and my friends to get you out of the city, and then I never want to see your ugly, hairless face ever again. Do you understand?
I won't need help getting out, Trafnar. And the less you see of me, I can already tell, the better. Just... I know this sounds absolutely fucking stupid coming from me. But... as your superior officer, I'm ordering you, find the wardens and make them fucking pay for ruining their name and their glory. If you want to ignore it, fine by me.
Look, lad, we all want a place in Morian's Forge, and as far as I say, with the life I've led, it seems like the only way I can get anywhere near a spot. So, sir, it'll be a pleasure to exact your final order, sir. And I gave him what I am, and I give him basically because I'm guessing it's not the same as like the traditional like R salute where it's just like the palm to the forehead, but I give like the Wardens of the Wildfire like original salute.
Yeah, with it, it's essentially like your weapon close to your chest, like kind of like the arm to the other shoulder, but you've got the weapon pressed against it. Against chest as well.
But I haven't got like a weapon on me, so I'll sit with like my closed fist.
Yeah. Here, he throws you a small pouch.
You go to the forge, get him to take that stupid emblem off the hammer. If you decide to use it, you can use it knowing that you're not representing the Wardens no more.
I was thinking about it, though. You know, I've been choosing not to use this mallet, because hell, if I use it, what makes me any better than the cunts who used it originally? Thank you, I wield it with honor.
If you're using the
Very much.
hammer, don't think of it as you're using it as the Wardens of now. Think of it, that hammer's old, back when the Wardens actually meant something. Think of it as the Wardens of old coming back to enact vengeance on the Wardens of now.
Did you have a name for it, lad? All good all good weapons have a name, don't they?
They had a name once, but when I found out what it was being used for, it lost its name. Besides, it's not mine no more. It's yours. If you want to name it, you're free to. I'm sure that it won't mind what it's called so long as it finds flesh to redeem.
And I just sort of look at it and just take like a big, almost like that kind of like slight and like and dig a big sigh. It's almost like that sort of whimper to it, like you're about like you're sort of like about to burst into tears, that kind of thing. And I just look up and go, "You haven't got any spare bottles of whatever you were drinking, do you?"
You see for the first time, a small smile just creep up.
Aye. 1 second.
Lifts himself out of the chair and heads back into the other room. You hear some more things falling, and you can see he's got 2 more bottles, and he hands you one.
And what is it? Is it basically like high quality dwarven ale?
It is the same kind of dwarven ale that was given to you when you were in the Wardens.
Oh, so it's like Maureen's Flame Special Reserve kind of thing.
Yes, it's like the only place you've ever found this ale is in like the Wardens' places. And as he
in the
uncorks,
chapter houses.
and as you kind of like looking at it, he uncorks says,
Oh, the Wardens are a bunch of shit, but even then, can't deny they make some good ale.
and just begins chugging the other bottle.
I suppose. A one redeeming feature, maybe.
Ain't gonna pay 'em back for all they've done, but shows that they're not all bad. You're another example. You did shit, but now you're trying to fix it. So, Wardens didn't all make monsters.
And just drinks another, just chugs another bit of it down.
Yeah, well, I suppose, if we learn anything from us two drunken old fools, is that not all wardens were cut from the same cloth. And I uncork it, take a sip, and just a rush of nostalgia.
Yeah, you are kind of overwhelmed by the feelings of when you were actually starting out in the Wardens before they degraded into what they were, of the genuine fun times and the teachings, and generally helping.
Actually helping people, yeah.
Yeah. You do remember the burnings from then, but those were those that were, had gone through the system and were sentenced to death.
Yeah, of course. Tell you what. We did run into each other again. Did everything I can to find the recipe. And if I see each other again, I'll be happy to give you a copy.
Maybe I'll open a brewery if I'm alive long enough.
Well, if you do, you certainly got your first customer here, lad. And I take like another big swig, and you can see like I've got like a half smile of just remembering happier days, and I put it back, and I just like chug, slam on the desk, slam on the table.
You see, he was also chugging that one down just for.
Alright, get your friends and get the fuck out of the city. The villagers find that too as you're not doing it. They sure as fuck ain't gonna leave you alone till you're out of here.
Aye, you too, friend. Aye, you should be living as well. And just looking around where we are, is it clear that he's like got shit packed up?
You can see there is a like a traveling sack that's partially filled. It looks like you caught him while he was midway through.
Okay. Right. We should get back to packing up your belongings then, friend.
Aye. Aye.
And okay. Morning protect you, and just for the record, sorry for threatening to kill you.
Well,
You know, I thought you were one of those lot, you know.
if you can act out on it, I would have asked you not to do it anyway. You kill me here, you get the Lord's God on you. Would have asked you to find a good place outside the city to do it.
Although to be honest, lad, if I learned that you were one of the bad sort, and you went on your knees practically begging to suck my cock for forgiveness. I don't give a shit. I wouldn't have given a shite if the Lord's God locked me in irons for the rest of my days.
I mean, I wouldn't have been begging to suck your cock anyway. I'm not that kind of dwarf, pal.
Well, I do remember there being rumours back in the day.
You'll find that them rumors of my preference are grossly exaggerated.
Well,
Now get out of here.
yeah, we should. Yeah, I should be off and not trouble you anymore. Yeah, and I go. It's been an honor, sir, and another sort of one of the warden sort of hand on hand to the other side salutes.
As he responds in kind, but just kind of like very loosely.
Make
Yeah,
him pay.
Don't worry, if there's nothing I'll do, in this world, I'll make sure there's not one of those bastards left alive.
I'll
Take
give
care,
you
friend,
one
mate.
final bit of information, though it's not gonna help you much. The new general, since Mora Flamesneaker, Morian Smiter, has passed, her son, Vesta Flamespeaker.
How do you spell the person again? The original person? The
Mora
mother?
Flameseeker.
Mora.
Mora. And the other one they read is Vesper. V-E-S-P... Yeah, V-E-S-P-E-R.
Okay, like the scooter.
Yes.
Got it.
I wasn't aware there was a scooter.
Oh yeah. So, or if you like, it's the love interest from Casino Royale.
I've never
so-
seen Casino Royale. Keep in
Okay,
mind,
well-
if names seem very ironic to stuff, I am not actually aware of it. It is unintentional.
Don't worry about it. I know. You wouldn't happen to know where they're based these days, would you?
Going by what we had left. Under a Kulmandal and Mifrelhammer, though. Probably more under a Mifrelhammer.
Yeah, so
What was-
basically...
what was the second one you said? Under Rook, Mithril and what else?
Ulmandau, which
How do you
is
spell that? Sorry.
Ulmandow, which you know is between Mifrelhammer and Underrook itself.
And it's another dwarven.
No, it's
city.
a Johanian city.
If you recall, because she's mentioned it before, that is Nemesis's hometown.
Oh fuck!
Yep,
So
that is where she rules.
so basically, we're gonna go if things are if we're going by like closest places on this my journey to murder these guys or girls, who cares? We're gonna go from my hometown to Nemesis's hometown to the capital of the dwarves.
Yep.
Fun times. Okay.
Oh boy.
I can't wait to be killing cultists and having glaring family arguments. We found.
There's a yeah.
Okay.
Get back to
And I go, and when he says like there's still an Underrook, he can sort of see like he can sort of he just sort of sees like my eyes like just like widen slightly like do that kind of thing of like of like they like widen slightly and then close back down like of that like sort of the sound of like recognition kind of thing. Or like, oh shit, there's an Underrook kind of thing. He goes, Underrook?
Aye, it's well, sure you know as well as I do. It used to be. Hey, Savannah's here. It used
Hey,
to
Sav.
be. It used to be one of the main areas before he moved to Mithrilhammer. The Forge Powders didn't take too kindly once word from Platinum Hole reached them. So I imagine they'd be underground.
Very good. Do I so what as a big dwarfy boy, what do I know of the what did you say, powder blasters? What did you call
The
them?
Forge Powders.
The forge powders.
Um,
What do
so
I know of the forge powders?
you would, yes, mostly because at the discovery of what the Wardens of the Worldfire was doing, the Glowhammers very quickly lost any political heft that they have. And as such, the Forge Powders, which were already fairly strong, they're primarily dwarven inventors and often worked alongside the gnomes. It's a reason why Underrook had a lot of like gnomish machines in it compared to the other areas, because even though the Glowhammers looked after the city, the Forge Powders were primarily involved with the day-to-day runnings. And with the Glowhammers collapsing due to the Warden's atrocities, the Forge Powders very quickly took over. You don't know what happened after that though, because you never returned back to Underrook.
No, I haven't been to my hometown in like 2 decades.
Yeah.
I've been there in ages.
Yeah, so you aren't aware about what's happened since the Forge Powders took control, only based on what Larrett has told you.
Forge powders were in charge then.
Aye, pretty much were in charge at the time anyway.
Aye, we were.
They took over and outlawed any wardens.
They were always a good bunch, the forge powders in that way.
Their ethics can be a bit questionable, what with testing stuff in a non-controlled environment, but yeah, they Underrook's in good hands.
Aye. It'll be good to go back to go out to see how the old place is doing these days.
Just don't mention you're a glowhammer.
I am guessing, I know, so I'm guessing a decade and a half is a century and a half is long for some people, but I guess bad fun.
It's more the wardens were born from the glowhammers, and they usually put us alongside them. They ain't outlawed glowhammers, but they're not looked on very kindly.
Aye, so I imagined. So it's like okay. Thanks for the help, Laddit.
It's still
Name and 3 locations. It's a good place to start it. Thank you very kindly. Where are you gonna head off to? East, west, south, where?
I'll probably just see where my feet take me.
Well, things at Platinum Hold are okay, given the war.
Oh, I ain't going back to
You
any
don't want to go.
dwarven cities.
You don't. Pardon?
I ain't going back to no dwarven cities. I don't deserve to be among my own kin. Like I said, I'll probably just find some old shithole that no one really cares about and just live the rest of my life there.
Well, be careful going south, though. You don't want to start your new life getting a knife in the back from some beast folk.
I heard about the war.
What was the name of the grasp in Dwarfish Gen?
It was. Let me pull.
Sorry, so many notes. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I've got 1,000,001 fucking notes here. So just give me a second.
I'm about to play this. I should know this off by heart, but sorry.
To be fair, it's been a while since the dwarf stuff.
Yeah.
So let me
Golden
just.
days of adventure.
I know I've got it somewhere.
When I was in floods of tears every single session. Good times.
There we go. I think I found it. Yeah. So I found Garazun.
I know what happened to Garazon.
That bitch was supposed to be impregnable. And yet they destroyed it in a blink of an eye, they say. Who the fuck can do that? Not even the fucking Forge Power doesn't know anything they do. I'm getting the feeling the Forge Power don't know anything that could do that. What the fuck happened?
What's done is done. Very least the other gift to the humans still working from what I've seen.
Do I know what he's referencing?
You do. It is known as the Joining Bridges. It is a very large bridge, purely symbolic, between the peaks of two mountains. And directly below the Joining Bridges is the capital city of Jurhan.
Wait, so it's a purely decorative bridge?
Yes. It was meant to be used... between the two mountains, it was meant to be essentially bridging a symbol of peace between the two kingdoms because it was built after the Dwarven Jurhanian War.
I mean, hopefully they after all this is done, the Jurhanians will remember why the bridges were built in the first place. Don't want to say another war between us and them. That wouldn't go well.
They probably a bit too busy with this war to be thinking about a war between the dwarfs and such. Besides, probably go as well as it did last time.
Just from memory, we won. The dwarves won, didn't they?
The dwarves won quite handedly. They only lost Gold Chisel. They couldn't even get through the mithril gates that adorn Mithril
Okay, the dwarf fanboy in me is very happy.
It was considered the biggest embarrassment in Jurhanian's military history. It basically shattered the image that Jurhanian's military might was unstoppable.
Got it. Okay. So I'm guessing it was like the pure hubris thing of these tiny bitted fuckwits don't know what they're doing. We're gonna take their mountains, and then we just destroyed them.
At no point did the dwarves actually strike out from their cities, but every bit of ground that the Jurhanians gained, they suffered heavy losses in comparison. The only reason why they took out Gold Chisel is because they redirected meltwater from the mountains and basically flooded the entire city.
Which is a dick move from the Jurhanians. Jesus Christ.
The Jurhanians were known, at least back then, to not really care about moral or ethics when it came to their warfare.
I do know that actually happened in real life at one point. I think it was in like the 30s in China. Basically, like the communists, it was the communists or the nationalists in China, basically purposefully crazily badly flooded the Yangtze River and killed a decent 100,000 people.
Yeah, but think of it like that, basically.
Nerd time with Bibby.
I'm a history nerd, okay? Leave me alone. Okay, so hopefully they remember the last time. Right, that's enough talk of basketball, lad. We should be heading off as well. We're also heading out. The builders aren't great fans of us either. I mean, well, I mean, after the shite we pulled getting you free, I suppose. Anyway, what's done is done. Let's. It was a pleasure meeting you, friend. I dearly hope that we meet somewhere along the way. In better places.
Well, if Morian decides to be merciful, you'll see me at his forge.
Let me see you there, lad. A nice give him just a nod and a final and like a nod and a final goodbye. Just go. And what's like the regular sort of like dwarven like honorary goodbye, in a way of like till what's like their equivalent of like farewell till we next meet or something.
Because I don't have a list
I know,
of the dwarven stuff, we can just say that you say
Oh my
the
God,
formal
Bibby.
dwarven thing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pull that shit. Sorry.
It's fine, but
yeah, basically I say like yeah the equivalent of like take care old friend kind of thing. And I grab my stuff, including the dark iron warhammer, and so what do I see when I leave? When I leave the room, are you guys still out there?
Nimsy is just leaning against the wall, waiting, looking bored out of her mind as you talk about what's the greeting for this? What's the salute for this?
I'm sorry. Also,
Fortune is landing on Nemesis taking a nap.
I was relatively interested.
Look, okay? I walked in there looking for my first kill and left with a friend, okay? Don't be mean at me.
oh, he's apparently going to be here in about now.
I'm right here.
Oh,
He's
there.
here.
I didn't hear you come in.
Yeah, I just showed up.
I heard it.
The gang's
Actually,
minute
rolling.
ago.
when Fav came in, I thought it was him being early. So I saw that.
Alright.
They're near.
Yeah.
You're really focused on your like hour-long conversation with dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping that would take a decent amount of time. It looks like I was perfectly timed.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
still
Yeah.
annoyed that the
Really?
first 20 minutes. I'm still annoyed that the first
Sorry.
20 minutes didn't catch because I had it on my VR setting. So I'll have to.
Oh.
I'll have to very quickly like do dub stuff over that. You know, I'm not gonna do a crazy. I'm not gonna do a crazy recap. But
Yeah. Also,
But the only two things that, like, before the conversation, the only thing happened is I washed Strockner's beard and he almost punched me, and
Yeah.
doused him with the
That
gold
tracks.
Catamancy. That's it.
I was shoveling a bowl of porridge into my mouth disgustingly, like I've never seen food before, and so I had it like all over my face and through my beard. And Floriana, out of nowhere, went to the water bucket and like essentially like full on like Avatar the Last Airbender, like water bended the water through my beard to wash it, like right next to me. And I just looked at her, stood up, and tried to punch her in the face. But then Nemesis put her shield in front of my fist.
It's like
And
child
it really
heat.
hurt.
Yeah, but Nemesis, because obviously you can't hit a child.
What? Yeah.
You can't hit a child.
Of
This
course
is not
not,
up for debate. This is not a
I
butt
know,
situation.
I know it's not up for a debate. It's just
Oh
you
my
don't touch a
God.
dwarf's beard. You don't do it.
You don't touch a child.
I was rethinking on like
Also,
things.
she's
I
not
thought,
really a child. She just looks like a
I thought-
child.
yeah, I
Okay,
thought
well, we
Nemesis,
think she's a child, so.
I thought out of the group, Nemesis was the one who was the most like, suspicious of her actually being a child, or at least.
That
lying
doesn't
about
mean
it.
she's gonna.
I thought you were
going to
say willing to hit children. I was like, yeah, that
Well,
also
she would be,
tracks.
but so I think she's the most suspicious of her right now because when
Yeah,
everyone
she is. She doesn't trust Floriana as far as she could fucking toss her, which is pretty fucking far. But like,
yeah, she's light, weak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then, so yeah, I just want to say, Tom, sorry for making you have to frantically look through notes and put up with my bullshit.
Oh, all I had to do was just look for the dwarf stuff, and I knew I had the document there. I just had to find it, that's all.
What's the
Okay.
particular salute for this? What's the salute for
Shut
this? How do
up.
you say this in Dwarvish? How do you say goodbye? What's the traditional greeting? Like,
He is the god of this realm, okay?
My immersion.
if you're at a dwarven party, you know, and a dwarf offers you a beer, what do you do?
Shut up! Stop being mean to me!
Anyway.
Dwarf boy.
Okay,
That's
anyway,
neat. It
yeah.
looks like we learned a bunch of cool stuff about Trotnar and his people and his
Yeah.
I was worrying. I mean, I was worrying that you guys, if it didn't descend into basically full-on murder and me torturing this poor man, I thought you guys were finding it boring when it was just two old dwarves having a chat.
I'm actually really disappointed I missed that. I might.
I was very
listen to that.
interested. I listened like the entire time.
Okay.
That's like
even the part
deep
where
character
Trofnar
lore.
suggested potentially, you know, scaring Larrett to, you know, be on his knees and be like, oh, I want this, and him just like, no.
Yeah, I was ready for Trotnar to kill him.
Yeah. My plan essentially was I was going to basically throw him to the. I was basically going to throw him to the ground, keep him pinned, set my hammer on fire, and then basically just start burning his face until he told me where the wardens are.
Jeez, yeah.
I definitely would have been Troy walking into the scene with everything on fire from Community. Trying to be like, what's happening?
Until knowing Trotnar, he would have accidentally set the building on fire doing it.
Jesus.
And instead, you just found a broken old man. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess we are...
Hello, doppelganger. How are things?
I guess we're going to head back to the... Because we're leaving, essentially.
Yeah.
We're going to get the fuck out of here.
So did that take some time?
It took about as long as it...
In game, it probably took about as long as... Okay.
Yeah.
It was basically just
a good,
conversation.
30-40 minutes.
Yeah, alrighty.
Yeah, so
Well, I
if
had
you
a thing
guys...
I wanted to do before we left town, at least.
Minus the snark, you guys didn't say, like... So, yeah, were you guys still there when you left the room? Like, are you guys just, like, sit about, like, twiddling your thumbs, playing cards or something?
We were just kind of waiting for Trotnar. It's not like anything special. We were waiting out.
Yeah, like, I think we
probably
were,
get in.
like, waiting in case something happened. Like,
Yeah.
if we knew you were just gonna have a nice chat with an old man, it's like, hey, I'm like, okay, let's play some cards.
Well, like, and I feel like everybody was there just in case anything went bad, and so he probably wouldn't have went and done anything. It was like we were there just in case.
Yeah.
Well, a few of us aren't there, like you aren't there.
Yeah, Delson. Yeah,
Okay.
you and
Yeah,
Raya
Delson
are
was
back
shooting.
at the inn, and then Delson went to shoot gun. But I guess it's his last day of shooting gun since we're leaving.
Most likely.
Delson
Delson
can
get
shotgun.
So, yeah, if you guys have anything that you want to do beforehand, you should do it now. Because then we're going to be talking about where we're going to go next.
Yeah.
We have a lot of places that we could go.
Yeah,
Which sounds like Peach's
so
house.
this basically just sounds like it's that bit in a video game when it's like you go through this bit, you're gonna like don't you save before now if you want to do anything else kind of thing.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
turning back after this point.
Yeah, pretty
Yep.
much. But I come out with like a half smile, looking off, and I see these guys looking basically just sat on the floor, bored out of their wits, and I was going, well, sorry, I'm not covered in blood.
I mean, I wasn't expecting you to go. Sorry, my expectations of you going in there was not to murder him. I guess apparently I'm the odd one out.
I was expecting murder, but I prefer not to have bloodshed. So,
Well,
did
you look
you get
cool.
anything good?
You know, you'll go drunk, have a good time.
Got his real name. Turns out he's a cousin of mine.
Well,
Oh,
like
boy,
fifth
murder
removed?
runs in the family.
What, like fifth removed or something?
Something like that. Dwarven clan's are old and massive, boy. Massive one, and he's just one of the. He's a glowhammer but distant one. He did say that. He says they're not actually dead. The wardens, they're still around, just localized to this side of the continent. They're oh, he's an old named Laddit, by the way, and he's our friend. So if he's in trouble, we got to help him. He said it's still going at this side of the continent, and they've got 3 strongholds left. Underik, Mithrilhammer, and Olmundau, he said. The human city.
Olmundau?
I think that's what he said, yeah. He said Underik, Mithrilhammer, capital, and Olmundau, aye.
I think I passed through there before I met you guys in Exeter, but
You were in Knap. How can you pass through that? That's me out of character. Like, I don't...
yeah, but my hometown's from is I think Goldfields. That means in order for me to make it all the way to Exeter, I had to probably cross through Olmundau.
If it was right near the western entrance to the Kingdom of Dra, then yes, you would have had to have gone by Olmundau. Not necessarily gone into it, but you would have had to have gone past it.
Yeah,
If I can just find...
I was very confused because I thought you were in Knap.
I think
that's where I spent probably a year or so before I met you guys. Half a year or so.
Can we have map?
I'm trying to find where the map
I'm
is.
looking at the map right now.
I grabbed the map when he decided to do that Jirhan thing majigger when they were talking about the Twin Peaks. Is there a bridge? I wanted to see if there was a bridge on the map.
There
It's
is,
I really
For anyone who
really
needs
need to
the
have
map,
a
it
map
is actually
saved.
pinned here.
Yeah,
is
there?
pinned.
It's pinned in general.
Okay.
What do you mean, Olmundau?
He said that basically after the Wardens got figured out, they retreated to the west to their dwarven stronghold, and he named 3 places where they still got some kind of underground presence. And he said Underik, my hometown, the capital city of our capital city, Mithrilhammer, and the Jirhanian city, Olmundau.
That's not possible.
You can go and ask him yourself if you like. He's still in one piece.
Nemesis just has this really bad look on her face. Just awful.
Roll insight, please.
Yeah, but what's different than normal?
She looks distressed.
Sorry.
Like, actually distressed.
Do I even need to roll insight?
If you want to.
You can, I mean...
That's a 12 total.
I can tell something's got her riled.
Something's wrong, but you definitely don't know what.
She ruffled her ruffles.
Someone's looking kind of go, what happened in Olmundau?
I was raised there. It's where my family rules.
So Baroness isn't just some nickname. You really are one.
Did you think I was lying?
Yeah, it could have been. Could have been just you blowing smoke up your ass,
Everyone's great.
I don't recall anything like that. Of course, I was shipped off to Jurahan in my teens.
Okay, so I don't want to ask fatty questions anymore.
I mean, you can ask Laura questions. I might not necessarily be able to answer them because I don't know. But
I ask a law-related one, and it's not.
If it's not something like what's the dwarven word or what's the ankle type, if it's not that, then you can ask them.
I am sorry for that.
It's fine.
I would leave it at that. Do I know of any sort of particular dwarven-y presence or influence in Olmundau? Do I even know what Olmundau is?
You know what Olmundau is because it's right next door to Underrock. But in terms of dwarven presence, I mean, there's always been a dwarven presence in all of the Jahanian cities, predominantly because of the agreement between the Jahanians and the dwarves at the end of their war, which allowed dwarves basically free passage into the Jahanian cities so long as they abide by the Jahanian laws. And being miners, they are also very helpful to have in the cities anyway, with architecture and all that stuff. So it's not uncommon for there to be a dwarven presence. It varies depending on city to city. Ulmendau has a bit more of one, mostly because it's nestled between 3 dwarven cities by itself, which is Gold Chisel, Underrook, and Niflhammer.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're right in between 3 main dwarven cities. It'd be weird if there weren't dwarves there, huh?
But something like that wouldn't just go unnoticed.
Well,
Unless she knew.
Well, it seems like your clan's got a blind spot on us.
I don't think it's a blind spot.
You don't.
Actually, expecting.
What are you thinking? Collaboration or what?
I know my mother, and I don't think that something like that would just go unnoticed. I think that there's a possible intentional blind eye.
That's concerning.
I know her. I know that she doesn't care about anything, any life, unless there's a profit in it.
What's the profit in not bringing murderous arseholes to justice?
I don't know, okay? I don't know. Maybe it helps her get rid of people that she doesn't want around. Maybe they provide goods. Maybe it's a status thing.
Maybe she's
I don't know.
Both quiet or scared or.
Maybe it's just simple as it takes too much money to get rid of them.
Do you say that in character?
Yeah, I it's a statement that makes sense. Like it takes too much effort to do it.
I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm wrong.
Got me confused as well. Like, it was a dwarvish organization targeting dwarves for trying to get into the dwarven afterlife. Why is a high ranking high fidelity noble like your family trying to help them, or put a blind eye?
It's just a theory that I have.
Well, because of it just being a theory, we can think about it when, I guess, if we make it to Umendal.
Aye.
It's not really going to do much to think about until we...
Thank you, Ryan.
It's just worrisome.
I'm
hoping that you're wrong, that they're gone, that my family wouldn't be ignorant enough to either miss it or collaborate with it.
Look, my kinsman there was the one who blew the whistle on the Platinum Hold chapter. He was around during them getting rumbled. If he would not make this kind of mistake of knowing where they ended up, so either this poor old man with nothing left to lose is a liar for the sake of lying, or it's more complicated.
For the record, it wasn't Platinum Hold which the bills were speamed on. Platinum Hold found that one out themselves. It's Groffield. He came forward.
Sorry. He was Groffield, yeah.
Nemesis just kind of shakes her head and shoves everyone out of the way
And leaves?
Yeah, leaves.
He kind of cut out like the last...
Okay. So, you leave the Scurvy's Vein, unless there's anything else the last ones of you want to do in there.
Let's... Post.
Sorry, what did you say? Sorry,
Yeah,
what
you
did you say, Dom?
Oh, really?
Nothing.
Let's I guess just head out.
Alrighty.
Let's leave him alone. Yeah, let's head back to the highway squall.
Okay, if that's the case, Raya and Valif, because you guys came in a bit late, what are you guys doing currently?
I was probably reading through the notes that I had got from I need my other book now. Where's my notes? From my buddy there.
Yeah, I think I sent it to you directly.
Yeah, you did there. And I just wrote it. I kept forgetting. I kept remembering when I wasn't on my computer. I'm like, I need to read that. I really need to read that. And then I keep forgetting. But I just read it. And it's like very interesting. I'm super cool.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like just like looking over it and like cruising over those.
Yeah, as mentioned, the book is extremely old, so you're not able to grasp much.
Yeah,
more
really
from
old
it.
and like damaged in ways, so you can't read a lot of it, but only a little bit of information.
Like you've seen books that are usually well preserved, and it's usually got a magical element. This one, it just looks like traditional, like preservation elements, which obviously can only work for so long. You know, it's kind of like when they pull out like old texts or old papyrus, and it's like
don't touch this too much or it'll fall apart.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Alright, so you spend time just carefully reading through the tome and obviously jotting stuff down in a book that isn't on the verge of completely falling apart. Alright. So if that's the case, is anyone else doing anything before the acceleration to the leaving from Grothfield?
I guess I'll let the gun master know that I'm probably going to be leaving.
Oh, what? Was my training too hard for you, Delson?
No. Let's just say that I got caught up with some of the wrong people.
That's a shame. Well, she begins to take out some parchment, just begins writing on it. I will set you some exercises to do. Do that for about a week, and I would say you'll probably finish the training. You're very close to it anyway.
Thank you again.
And she spends the next, 10 minutes just writing out the various bits of parchment, and eventually hands you about 3 or 4 rolls of parchment. Unfortunately, you'll have to source the ammo yourself now at this point.
Up, and I thank you for reminding me how to source it.
I mean, it's easy enough. You just need to find someone that sells black powder, someone that sells, ideally, lead, and the contraptions I gave you will allow you to make your ammo.
Indeed they shall.
Show the Johanians what Nazian firepower is made of.
That I shall. I will tip her my hat.
Alright. And so at the end of the day, you make your way back.
Think. In on the list, I think I was actually gonna.
Before I leave.
Yes.
Before we leave the city.
You do a hammer thing.
I would like to go and see if I can get some like hops or barley or like brewing supplies.
Okay. It's easy enough to find that kind of stuff. Being a big city and not to mention a trade hub, you're able to get like the brewing supplies that you need. It'll cost you about 10 gold, but
that's cool.
You'll have.
But I've already got what's it called?
The kit.
I've already got the kit for it. I'm just looking for like the physical stuff to make the ale with.
Like, because I assume you're wanting to make a lot of it.
Yeah.
Then yes, 10 gold. That's why I said 10 gold. I was going by the assumption, and with 10 gold worth, that would actually be enough to make a keg worth of it.
Can I buy a keg as well?
That'll cost an additional 2 gold, but yes.
I mean, isn't a keg really big? You really want to like take that with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Of course.
Yeah,
We've
it's
got a cart full. We've got a cart full of like shitty rations. You put it in there.
I keep forgetting we have a cart. Or it's been so long since we've been traveling. I kind of
We have
forget.
Fortune's cart of
yeah.
kibble.
The keg is literally about the size of your chest, roughly.
In between exacting fiery vengeance, I'm just going to be trying to brew the best dwarven ale I can. Okay, that's how this is going to work. Basically, the character of this is like, I tried in like the original like Warden ale from like years ago, and I just can't get like the taste out of my head. I want to taste it again, and so basically for a while now, I've just going like I need to figure out, do like trial and error, how to get anything resembling that taste. Basically. So how? Wait. Okay. So brewing supplies. Okay. Yeah. And sod it. I'll get a keg as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you're able to get a keg. Unfortunately, because the keg obviously isn't a barrel, you can't just stuff everything in. So you're just there like you're essentially double stacking with a sack of all the materials on top of the keg, and you're just like carrying it through.
How heavy would you say the materials, the supplies are?
So.
Sorry.
See, now you're throwing this at me. Well, no, it's
sorry.
like,
I'm so sorry.
This is an important. This is actually generally an important one because obviously there's carry weight stuff.
Yeah.
And it's heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
How heavy is this? Like, rings? Like, negligible. Don't worry.
So I would say I'm just looking up some of this stuff. Because the problem is that it's only saying like this is how heavy a keg is when it's full, and it's like I don't fucking want to know how.
It's just an empty keg.
Yeah, how heavy is fucking, because it says here like a full keg is about like, depending on how big you want it, is about 90 to 160 pounds.
Jesus.
Like, yeah. So if I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna say I'd say the supplies in total probably about 20 pounds worth.
20 pounds, okay.
I mean, it's kind of light. If it's like a...
Actually, no, if it's enough to fill a keg, actually, then it would go by the weight of a full keg. So I would say...
Yeah,
I would
full
say,
keg, it looks like, is like 160 pounds.
Yeah. So I would say, in total, on top of the keg as well, it's 160 for all the materials, and the keg is, I would say, about 20 pounds. I don't know how heavy a keg actually is.
Yeah,
wait.
Google says 30 pounds for an empty
40
keg.
pounds.
So
there's a...
Well, actually, no, if it depends on... One second. Fucking...
Asking the real important questions here in Karmora.
Okay, so you've...
How heavy is that?
So
This is
So
important.
the keg that you've got is essentially a half keg. And that does weigh 160 pounds when it's full of beer. And,
Right.
obviously with how things work, turning stuff into other stuff, the material would be roughly about that amount, and obviously Visa's happily searched up how much a keg is, so you are lugging 190 pounds right now.
190?
Yeah, 160, which is the materials, like the barley and everything, and 30 pounds just for the empty keg.
Okay, so 30 pounds the keg, and then 160 for the supplies.
For the supplies, yes.
Honestly, pretty sure the supplies
You're
are
gonna
probably,
have to
like,
drag that to our cart.
Yeah, overcarrying capacity.
Well, that's carry if you're lifting kind of deal, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I feel like if you're like just taking it from like one place to another, you can be slower. It's not like
you're not like in a combat situation. Then yes, I'd make a more fair. But
battle keg.
Yeah, but you're just.
We're still in winter time, yes.
I would love.
You're in winter, coming up to spring.
Like right now.
Because it's February.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay.
I remember.
I was just
may
thinking
or may not
Grosnar
have
could
the
steal
date.
some kid's sled and use it to haul it.
Not a lot of time has passed.
I mean, I could sling the supplies on my back and like roll the keg.
I mean, whatever works for you, man.
But okay, so am I able to get this keg and these supplies back to the cart?
Yes, it'll take a very long time, and though you don't get a point of exhaustion, you are fucking tired from carrying all that.
Excellent. Okay, so I just load up the keg and the supplies into the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Back of
The cart makes an audible squeak as you put it all in there. Just.
I just like have a look at the axle and like fingers crossed that like there's not like a crack or something.
Yeah, it seems fine. It's just the sudden weight, just for the suspension. It's like, you know, it's like
Okay.
it's like when you go on to bed and it suddenly creaks all of a sudden. It's like, well, it's not because it's too heavy. It's just creaking.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case,
but yeah, you have a good look, and it's a case of, because I mean, I need to search up how much a cart can hold, but I already know for a fact that it's way, like, it can carry a lot more.
Yeah, carts actually have a decent amount of like carrying capacity.
I think it's like several.
It depends on what the things that are carrying it, like that are pulling it too.
Yeah, which you've got a lot. But yeah, no, continue while I'm doing this.
That's cool.
I was thinking of going and saying hi to Bliff, probably as the day goes on, like sometime after the, the interrogation into, family, like the romance, I guess.
So do you do that after you guys get back to wherever we're staying?
Yeah. I'll come in and say hi to wherever you're going. Or
there we go. I found the carrying capacity. It's 400 pounds.
Nice.
Wait, that sounds a lot less. I don't know.
The horses
Maybe
the horses can carry much more, but like the amount that the cart can actually hold without its axles breaking is about 400. It says.
Yeah, just thought it would be more because it sounded like, with this putting about almost 200 pounds of stuff in it right away.
So
I think anyway. 1 second.
how much do we
Yeah,
have
an animal
on it
pulling
right
a
now?
carriage cart or a carriage cart, chariot, sled, or wagon can move weight up to 5 times its base carrying capacity, including the weight of the vehicle. If multiple animals pull the same vehicle, they can add their carrying capacity together.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's an animal. Okay, shit.
Oh, that's an thing.
Well, yeah, which is...
But that's like, like you could pile more shit in.
We have a sentient
I don't know.
cart.
It's more like how much physical space does it take? So like we have, how many animals do we have pulling it?
You can only have 2 with the wagon.
2 and they're 2 like.
Oh no, the wagon's 400. Fuck, man.
They're basically like they're like basically draft horses, are they?
Are they war horse,
I believe.
Hanel is a warhorse, and Dio is a elk.
Yep.
So
Which
we could always switch out
probably
Dio
the same
for
as a
Maelstrom.
probably the same as the warhorse. So that's like 5 times their carrying capacity is 5,000 pounds. But like the cart might break. Yeah, I don't know why there isn't a list for that.
Crossarn is stupid fucking ale.
I'll say for the sake of it that like it squeaks, but there's no sign of it failing yet. So it looks like it's within carry capacity until I fucking find something where it says like, "Oh, this is how much you can carry."
Drinking that ale was the only thing that made me happy in the last 100 years. Give me this.
Mounts other than this deer available in the will.
Oriana is
We're definitely going to need to upgrade our cart soon, considering.
Oi, oi.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to think
Ozzy,
as well.
Ozzy, Ozzy. Oi, oi, oi.
Because I'm just thinking as well, because we have to factor in if you guys are in the cart as well, that's also contributing to the weight.
At some point, are we just gonna end up with fine steed for everybody, and we're gonna have fucking Santa sleigh?
Oh yeah, totally.
No, Tom has literally said not to do that.
He doesn't want us all to have steeds, even though I kind of want to.
Can I have
I
my
want a
own
polar
cart?
bear.
Well, it's also as well because obviously you guys like the fine seeds so much, but if you all have one, then you can't.
It's the whole if everyone's super, then nobody is.
Yeah. Thanks, Syndrome.
We're adventurers.
But also like Final Fantasy, everybody gets there's like a mount at some point, right? Everybody gets like mount movement. Anyways,
So I walk in on Volith, just doing his writings and things.
Oh yes, hello Floriana, you're back.
Yeah, we chatted with, or I guess I should say, Trofnar ended up chatting with the warden. He did say he was indeed a warden. It's apparently he was the one who actually ratted out the wardens here. So in the end, those two what do you call it? A bromance, I think, or something. I don't know.
A bromance.
So everything went fine then.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to either Underrook or Elmendel soon, but we probably should be leaving soon.
Okay.
No, so he just quietly goes upstairs to pack.
Oh, what time of day is it?
I would say it's midday at this point.
Okay, so in the afternoon, after I've like a fucking, popped 4 hernias carrying all this equipment, can I just go, oh fuck, right, and then like basically run over to the blacksmiths.
Yep, sure. Also, I found what someone has said seems like a realistic thing. Your cart can carry up to 2 tons, which is, I believe, about
2,000 pounds.
4,000
Yeah, I
pounds.
think that's what, or was it? Yeah,
Or was it?
4,000 pounds.
Wait, was it? Wait.
5 times the
It's
base carrying
4,000
capacity.
pounds.
Yeah, which is about that's about right. If you have like worse horses, but we've got big fat horses, so
Yeah, so the car can withstand 4,000 pounds of force put on it, so long as it's spread out, because you know how that kind of physics
and that
works.
includes like us if we tried to climb in it. So
Yes.
like, there's a decent amount of stuff that could be in the cart.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, yes. Floriana, what was it? Did you have something to speak to me about?
I feel odd, and it, especially what happened this morning, just made me feel like remembering that something. Or I will ask him, but if I don't remember, because you weren't here, but what I did to Trofnar, do you remember what I did? Thing with the water.
Oh yes. I thought that was quite funny, to be honest.
Yeah, it was, but it reminded me that, like, I acted more like that way because of how I feel like Floriana would act. But I remembered it after how mad they got. That doesn't really suit how I am normally.
And how are you normally?
Well, back, all the way back to
You're cutting out so much. I'm having
really.
yeah.
I'm
A little bit, yeah.
Have you gone into your Discord settings and then adjusted the sensitivity, because it resets quite often actually, and it might be
Maybe,
that
'cause I think
because it just sounds
maybe
like
that
it's
is-
not picking up your voice, and so
Maybe-
you can go into the settings and into
Me?
into voice and video, and then just take the input sensitivity and take it down until you can see your voice past the bar quite often, and then it should fix it. If it doesn't, then it's just the connection issue, but I think
It
that's
might be.
probably what it is.
It might have reset, because now I think about it, I think I had this Discord.
It resets quite often actually.
Yeah,
Like
I
I think
think it had
whenever
to
it updates, it resets.
I think I actually hadn't changed the settings since I remembered it updating recently. Do I seem like I'm talking?
Yeah, it sounds much better now. So yes,
Maybe-
so what are you like normally, Floriana? You're not very
you-
outspoken quite oftentimes.
Do you remember all the way back? Back when we were at your patron, you
Yes.
I remembered having a dream, and you said that you didn't say anything about my past, right?
No, I haven't heard anything about your past. Normally, my dreams are very specific. I find myself daydreaming quite often about this and that, but nowadays, most of my dreams are more focused. And they come from my patron and not... I don't imagine it's what most people's dreams are like.
I suppose. I don't like. I think what I would say is flying to a party. Like, I don't remember if I mentioned it to you since we met in Platinum Hold, but I ran from home. I told them that it had to do with the fact that they didn't accept that I was a sorcerer. I don't know, but
It's very similar to my upbringing.
I don't know.
Though-
I feel like
I wasn't like this before.
Yeah,
It was just not accepting me for who I was.
but I feel like that they might have. It wasn't that. I feel like they probably would have been if it was Lily that just became a sorcerer. But no, as a part of. I ended up running from home when they found out that I was a changeling. That race of those shapeshifters.
Changeling. Do I have any idea what that is, Tick?
Make an intelligence check.
Sure.
Yeah. I know we've ran into one before in Exeter.
In Exeter, but I might have.
This was.
I don't know if I would make
before.
that connection then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, we've ran into one in the entire campaign so far, so it's not that common.
You've ran into two.
Two?
Floriana hasn't ran into two, but the party as a whole have ran into two. Shar is the more noble one, but the other one was in Pterodon's Crossing, which you weren't around at that point.
Yeah, and I don't think Valith was around during Exeter. I think that was Neri.
Yeah, that was Neri, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
yeah.
No, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, Floriana.
I looked into it. Apparently something descendant from, like, doppelgangers. You've probably heard that one more. Or they're from a god. It seems a little... It's hazy, but they're shape-shifting races. And
okay,
obviously, the fact is that they didn't know that was one. I ran because
you were scared.
Yeah, they found out that I wasn't actually their daughter. And when my friend was passing, I took her place from an agreement that we had. We were very young. We were like 5 and 6 when that happened.
And so your friend died and you took her place?
And I ran when they got mad and I fled. And I've been with this group because it feels like there's such a bunch of oddballs. Like you, for one, would be fine with, but
you're all a little strange. It's true.
Yeah. Right.
Have you told anyone else about this?
No, I thought you'd be fine with it. This isn't really one of the, like, personalities that I'm generally mostly of. It's why I kind of felt a bit bad about how it was with Trofna earlier. Usually I look more like... usually I look older, but that was how I was looked when I was on Keonth. And I had to run from Keonth.
When you were younger?
Yeah, well, when I was in Keonth, I had to run from, let's say, like, drug dealers. So I changed my persona. I looked like this, and I went to Exeter, and since that's when I met them, I haven't changed. I basically have been like this pretty much most of the time. But, you know, in order for me to, like, go back to what I feel like is more like me, I'd obviously have to tell them, or...
Then why don't you?
I don't know. It just feels like... It does scare me. It's been the main problems about my... It's just... You think I should tell them then?
I do. I think that even if you're scared, you should trust those around you. And by putting yourself out there just a little bit, you do risk them not accepting who you are, but I think it's better to be yourself than it is than to lie to even yourself. And at this point, it sounds like you have been doing that.
Okay. I don't act completely
don't fully understand what you are, but
if this isn't who you are, then you should come out and tell everybody who you are.
Yes. I don't act completely different. It's more...
I think of all the people that you could run into, this group is probably going to be more accepting than most.
I think so.
However they may show it, some of them might not, and some of them might be upset that they've been lied to, but eventually they'll get over it.
I think Nemesis would probably be the one who'd least like it the most.
She doesn't like many things.
That's true.
That's something I've noticed, at least, but she has a good heart.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think at least first, I'll introduce myself to you.
Yeah.
Her
okay.
appearance looks a bit older, maybe instead of more childlike, a teen. Her hair turns brown. And she reaches out her hand, shake it.
Yep. Yavalith does.
Yeah.
Okay. And so do you look because before you were basically look human, right? You just were
I'm
smaller.
Still human looking.
Yeah.
This is
and in the way that your facial features and stuff before, do they change? Body type or anything like that?
No, just mostly taller.
They look.
You can change a lot of differences, but
yeah.
But I'm Alicia, and this is
Alicia. It's nice to meet you.
This is, I guess, if I choose it, this is how I looked. What I choose to look like, at least when I was younger, as I grew up. This is how I met the friend. This is just how I look. This is how I think I just look if I was older, and how I choose to look like normally. So that'll change.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. Well, it just gives his big, dumb smile. Now, I think I just heard Trothnar storm out of the building yelling about a blacksmith, and that reminded me I also need to go talk to a blacksmith, so I'm going to go do that.
Okay, I think I'll...
Feel free to change back and find a time that you think is right.
Maybe tonight.
Just for the record, I didn't say anything about a blacksmith. I literally went to the bar, bought a mug of ale, sat down with it, saw my face drop, and I just went, "Oh fuck!" and ran.
Okay. Well, Volith has to go to the blacksmith, so he says, I need to go to the blacksmith, so I'm going to go do that. I need to get some new armor. I know I just bought this set, but I need to be more protected, I think, if I'm going to be adventuring with all of you. So I'm going to go do that.
I can't really... Armor for me is kind of useless. Admittedly, I hide them. I don't have them look, but I actually do have dragon scales, apparently, as a sorcerer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as a changeling, they don't actually...
that still comes out no matter what, I would imagine. That's pretty cool, actually. As a sorcerer, no matter your form, you're probably going to have those dragon scales.
Mm-hmm. I don't need armor. I get free armor.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna go do that then.
I'll think about when and how, and probably tonight, I think.
All right. Yeah, and then I'm gonna also head to the blacksmith and buy some breastplate if possible. We'll see what they have. Yeah.
Boob armor.
Since I can have medium armor now.
Look at the particulars.
I think it's 400 gold. It's actually quite pricey.
Beef power.
It's also obviously
you order a breastplate, but instead they serve you.
Yeah, that was the thing I wasn't sure about.
Yeah. Oh shit! This is a butcher's, not a blacksmith.
Okay, right. Okay. So, you head to the blacksmith. And obviously you ask about, around this point as well as you Trothnar come out after his little run to the blacksmith.
Sure.
Yeah, and you just ask about... we got some scale mail currently. It's not breastplate, but I can probably get one fashioned. We're a little, just kind of indicates to the somewhat barren walls.
Yeah,
We're
'cause the
replenishing
war-
our stock after the Lord's Guard came by and, acquired stuff before they went south. But, got some scale mail if you need some armor right now.
I would prefer something I can be quieter in.
Ah, right, let me...
Yes.
Just get
And
out again.
I would buy. I say, do you happen to have perhaps some chain?
Chain. We got chain, yeah.
Just a chain shirt would be fine.
Chain shirt. Let me just get the price here. That's,
He's like, notes. Yes, it's here somewhere. I know.
it's not even fucking notes I'm looking at. I got the fucking book.
Yeah, I've got the thing up on Roll20 right now. I'm like,
Yeah, but it didn't say the price as far as I'm aware. So it's like, great. I can't make use of that. That's here we go, equipment. God, how the hell does Matt Mercer know exactly where to look?
I have little sticky things for distinguishing chapters, and I can just flip to equipment, and it's the first thing.
Change shirts for 50 gold.
Yeah, they're 50 gold normally, but I don't know what because the war and stuff. I've got a lot of gold, so I'm really not concerned about price.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our last one. So for 60 gold, you can have it.
Here you go. Have 61.
Oh, well, thank you. Puts in there. So you got a chain shirt.
Yeah.
So that is. Oh yeah, chainmail is a heavy version. Fuck.
Yeah, chainmail is like not what I want because I can't wear that yet. But I will. I'll wear a chain shirt for sure. And I actually say, here you can just have this if you like, and I'll give him the. I took it off before I showed up, the studded leather that I had, and I just give it to him.
Like you won't
for the war effort.
For the war effort. And he just kind of passes it to one of the other workers, who just takes it and heads to like the back room or wherever they're putting the supplies. That's been worn, yeah.
Say again?
The lever, it's been worn, yeah.
Yes.
Be sure to wash it.
Yes.
Nothing against you, just
no.
work policy.
It hasn't been used much, but yes, I have been wearing it.
Yeah, it's just
I understand. Don't worry.
All right.
Thank you. And then I'll. I think that's all I needed to go do.
What the centaur? What the hell?
It's like that wife the centaur where
I mostly am ignoring the Roll20 chat until it's not my turn to talk, or else I will crack up in laughter because of you freaks.
We're in.
So it's just a wretched hive of scum and villainy in here.
Yeah, that's why I love you guys. Alrighty. Yeah. So I think that's all I pick up.
All right.
Yeah.
So
nice chain shirt.
Yeah. You know, a bit tankier now.
Yeah, and I can actually use the shield that I bought because I couldn't use it before actually, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, because the shield's classed as medium armor, ain't it?
Yeah, it's technically medium, so now I can actually use it, which is nice.
Okay.
I think you're finally as tanky as I am.
And if I have my this armor, just 13 plus, because when I got medium armor master, it upgraded my dexterity, which gave me another point, so that I could have 1+1 dexterity, and with a shield, I'm up to 14 plus 16 AC. Oh yeah, way better than my 12 that I could do before.
Oh gee.
I'm gonna have to make a note here, because if everyone's got high AC, I'm gonna have to find stuff for that. It's
no,
fine.
Don't. I'm only 15, but my HP is still 25. Please don't mix the thing and hit me.
It's fine. There's 1,000,001 things that I can do for that.
Yeah.
Especially because the higher the level you go.
Yeah. It's not even AC that you deal with. Yeah, it's nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I hear Eldritch music?
What?
I don't hear Eldritch music.
It's a joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I get you.
Oh. Okay.
It just kicked in. All right.
I pulled a Grom there. Oh, I get it.
Oh.
Okay, so if that's the case, what else is people doing then?
Phineas.
Can I? Is there like a bookstore here?
Not so much a bookstore, but several of the general stores do like sell books.
I want to find just like a book on Infernal because me and Fortune are idiots.
Make an investigation check.
I'm glad we had the same thought because I did want to go looking for.
Oh, great! We can go book
Celestial.
shopping together.
Okay, both of you
And
make
I also want to
investigation
find some
checks.
saddlebags.
Also, I know Infernal now.
All right, and Fortune.
I'm getting there. I had to open it.
Hopefully, Fortune can find something because that was shit.
16. Okay.
Nice. Thank you.
Well, first, most saddlebags are easy enough to find because you can usually get them at the stable. They are 15 gold each. Because they are.
I would like to get some.
Okay, how many are you getting?
Just a set for my horse.
Okay, that will be if it's a set, then it'd be 2 of them, so 30.
Okay.
1 on each side.
Hold on. Odd numbers. I have to math. I don't like to math. Calculator app save my gay ass.
That's true. It's true. Can't do math.
And as for the book finding, there aren't a lot of books about Celestial or Infernal, but you are able to find like the basic, like a basic kind of like breakdown kind of stuff, which it'll give you advantage on, you know, your teaching stuff, but it won't teach you per se. Like it's a book about like the linguistics involved. Those books will cost you 5 each.
This is where I become a teacher. I teach them their both languages.
No thanks.
More like translator.
Yeah.
Not even.
Floriana just turns into a bright green owl.
Wait, what?
Duolingo.
Oh yeah, that thing. Crap.
And you said how much was it for the books?
5 gold each for the one for the Infernal and one for the Celestial. And now, when you do your rolls, you can do so with advantage.
I just feel really happy because now she has 3,666 gold.
But you're also sad because that's 3,000 gold.
I know, we're getting there. We just need to con some people or stab somebody and steal it.
Classic Fortune.
Surprised you're as rich as you are. I only have
Try to get
2,100.
16.
Yeah, it just needs 3,303 gold.
Yeah. Or 6,969 gold.
Yeah.
Big numbers.
Anyway, so
Math is math.
in the time that it takes you all to do this, it is about mid-afternoon, coming up to early evening.
So, have I gone to the blacksmith and is my hammer... So, you do know what... I'm guessing you know what I'm going to the blacksmith to do.
Yes, to get the warden engraving taken off the hammer.
Yep, and
Correct.
And you already know what I was getting.
Yep. So you have the ingredients, but you need to actually make the the bullets.
Okay.
So you've got like a few bars of lead, and you were able to grab yourself a satchel of black powder. As I said, enough to make the number of bullets that you need. But yeah, Trofnar. The bit where the emblem is, because obviously using a whetstone is, whetstones are pretty fucking big. It does scuff like the bit where it's in, but they are able to get rid of the the actual bit, and they do try and correct what they did, but they realize that it's like that's the best we're gonna have.
Who runs the blacksmith again?
It is. There
Sorry.
are 3 people in the blacksmith. It is So the leader of it, of the blacksmith, the Black Iron Vestiger, is Orion, who is a dwarf, but there are 2 humans, one female, one male, called Glee and Mura.
Do I get any weird, funny looks from any of the dwarves?
He just kind of like looks at it. It's like,
That's a good made hammer. You just want to have this bit taken off it?
Aye.
Ah, design
For a
choice
second.
that weren't keen on you. Gotcha. All right.
and just
For a second hand, I thought the emblem was a bit tacky, you know.
Looks well made. It's gonna scuff the beer on the edges there, but it shouldn't affect anything.
I'm alright with that. I'm not. I don't really care about that kind of thing.
yeah, and so
As long as it's still works, mate.
yeah, and he gets rid of the emblem from it. But yeah, no odd looks.
Okay, just wondering. Okay, and how much is it?
So I won't bother saying the goal because it's the exact amount that Larrick gave you.
How much
which
was
in
that?
the pouch? It was 15 silver.
15 silver. Okay,
Yes.
cool. I've gone from 15 silver to 0 silver.
But Larrick gave you a pouch that had the 15 silver in it, so you're still at
Yeah, I
15
know.
silver. Because the pouch he gave you paid for the filing, so
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So I've gone from 15 to nothing. Yeah, because I've started with 0 silver,
Oh,
and then he
okay.
gave me the pouch of 15, and then I just took. Never mind. Oh, shut up.
okay, yeah, you
On
just
with the show.
stop confusing me, damn it, God! Stop casting confusion. I don't like it.
I'm gonna hit my friend and walk into a wall.
I cast confusion on the DM.
Yeah.
There was
It's not
another
very-
thing that I
it's not very
forgot that I
effective.
think I was doing, but I don't remember exactly, and you'll have to remind me, Tick. At the Arcane Craft, there
Yep.
was scrolls that I could have Zizix make.
Yep.
I think that I did do that, didn't I?
You ordered some of the scrolls. He gave you a
Yeah, because I had one I at least identify and comprehend languages because it was only 1 day each, but I might have also got Water Walk, which was like a week, and I don't think it's been a week.
It has been just trying to remember. Well, when you first got there, you spent a week just chilling.
Okay, so that time has passed.
Yeah, but obviously remember with how it is with crafting, it's like 1 day spent entirely on that scroll, and then they start with the next one. It's not like all
exactly.
to begin with.
So it would be like, a
one,
week and then
2
2 days.
A week and 2 days, and you spend, I think, nearly 2 weeks here in total. I think you're on day 4 off the top of my head. I'll have to look back through a few more of my notes on that one. But yeah, I'd say it's been about a week and 4 days, nearly 2 weeks.
And so those would be done. So I'll go to talk to Zizix because I apparently forgot to do that.
Okay. That's good because that would have really sucked.
I would have been like, I spent like 650 gold on this. I should probably.
Yeah, you
and
would have
a bunch
left.
of rituals,
Yeah.
more rituals. Give me the rituals.
You would have left, and then you would have been like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
I'm also just looking to see how long it has been. So you head to the Arcane Craft. It is busy, but Zigzit is still there.
There's no coronavirus, so I can walk in and get close to people. It's fine.
I go in and give Zigzit a hug. Yeah.
No, I'm self-isolating, yes!
No,
Get away from me!
Okay, there we go. I finally found the fucking date that you guys arrived in Groffield.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. So let me just quickly check to see how many days it's been. We are currently on day number... where is it? There it is. Oh yeah, no, it's almost certainly would have been done. Let me just check on here. 1 week. And actually, you've been here for 2 weeks, so yes, those free scrolls will be done.
Hell yeah! So I'll go grab that.
Okay, yeah. So he just like,
I'm,
oh wait,
mark down.
So you just it's like you hear for scrolls like
Yes, the scrolls. Wait.
just points to another wizard, just like you wait, and just quickly runs into the back room. You can see he's a bit disheveled. It looks like he's had a very busy day. but eventually comes with 3 scrolls. Like, yeah, there we go. Here you are. Identify the water walking and what was your third one again?
Comprehend languages.
Comprehend languages. Yes, here it is. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey. Alright, he just goes. He just leaves. So you've now got your 3 scrolls.
Yeah, I need to put them in my book still, but I can do that.
Yep, I think that takes a few hours, doesn't it?
Yeah, it'll be some time for each one, depending on their level. I think Waterwalk is a bit more.
Yeah, I think that's a 3rd level. I want to say.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Second level. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be like a couple hours. I'll spend a day doing it at some point. We'll.
Okay. So, if that's the case, so is there any other last-minute things before you leave the city, even?
No.
I think other than the fact that...
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think...
So you know, guys, we haven't had a drinking contest in this city yet.
Really? We haven't?
We haven't.
I
thought we did.
You did.
I think we need to leave now, and we can't stall for a drinking contest.
Oh no, it wasn't a drinking contest. It was an arm wrestling contest. I remember because Slade won that one.
I thought we had an arm wrestling contest.
You had an arm wrestling contest, and you lost to Slade.
He was like Gradima's brother or something.
Gradima's brother, yeah.
Yeah.
We have not had a drinking contest like we have been doing in every single town.
I mean, we didn't do it on purpose. I just go, you know what? Fuck it. Drinking contest, anyone? I'm not like enshrining every single bar we go to with a drinking contest. I'm not that level of alcoholic.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were just doing at least one per town. Doesn't have to be at every inn, just like the one inn that we're staying at.
Yeah, it's just more when the mood strikes.
So is everybody back at the tavern then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're
So everybody, what are we? Where are we going next?
That's a good question.
Right. So, for those who, do we have a map?
I produce a map with silent image on the table.
So basically, I gather everyone. Right. Here's the plan. You can say you don't like it. Just let me know. This is my plan. So go with it. You can't. I don't really care. So I basically go like, right, we're here, and I point to the on the map where it says Grothfield.
Yeah.
And I go, so I sort of before speaking, I sort of do a quick look around and go, so our mutual friend told me that the bastards are still in 3 locations. They're here. I point to Underook. They're here. I point to Ormungler. And then I go, and they're also here. And I point to Mithrhammer. Now, as you can see, very nicely, and you can see me trace my finger along the table where it's projected. So they're all in a lovely little line. So, what I suggest is that we go to these three places in order, going south to north, doing our business, and then once that business is finished, we go to the next town.
So we go to Underrook first.
Aye. Then Olmengrau, then Mithelhammer.
I suppose that is a suitable plan.
Seems logical enough.
I suppose.
How long would it take to get to Underrook?
Do you want to know this?
Well, I've got the map up currently. Remember, each square is about a day each, and obviously the dotted lines are the main pathways.
Yeah.
So you would have to, essentially, you could either go up towards Jurhan, which would take you near Ulm down, then back down to Underrook, or you head down near Gallero, but you have to go through a forest here, and then up near Lesdor, and then up through to Underrook.
So it actually probably would make more sense if we go to Ormondale first, then go back to then go down to Underoak, then double back and go to Mitterhammer.
The layout just seems annoying to do either way.
Yeah.
It's a shame there's not like a tunnel to Crossfield and Underoak.
So you want to go to Ulmendow first?
Well, I feel like just look at the map, lads. Either we go through this dense forest and a massive ring, go south, go towards the fucking war, and go down that way, or we go north, go to your hometown, deal with that shit in there, then head south to my hometown, and then head to Mittelhammer. I just think going to Ulmendow first sounds easier. And quicker and less arduous.
I suppose that's fine. There's someone that I'm hoping is there anyways.
It would mostly would be on the road for it'll be a break on the road, because it will probably take quite a few more days to get to Underoak, whereas it'll be like an extra day. It would just be one more day to get to Ulmendow from the
Looking at
crossroads.
The map, it'll take you about 5 or 6 days to get to Ulmendow, but it'll take you about 7 or 8 to get to Underook if you go through the northern way.
Is the southern way slower?
You do have to go through a bit of forestry, which, while you do obviously have a ranger and such, that's also going further south, so you're heading towards, a potential... Obviously, with how big the continent is, and the fact that the Gilgamesh hordes appear to have been laying siege to Almord, from what you've heard from the town criers, there is a chance, obviously, that you might run into some Gilgamesh hordes who have been able to sneak by, and made it further in.
Yeah. Is it less time though?
Let me have a look here.
Because I know the road is just sort of like wibbly wobbly, and we kind of have to like go back a little bit going north. Like, in order to cross the river.
Quite a way.
It's a bit longer. It would take you about 9 or 10 days to get to Underoak, just because it loops back.
I think just based on time constraints, Trotner is probably right about going to Ulmendow first.
Yeah.
And Trotner Heart grew 2 sizes that day.
Only 2?
That is fine.
Big size.
Alright, so it's a plan then. We all settled going to the princess's castle, and then back down to my hometown and then the capital. All set.
Yes, that works for me.
Fix my hair.
Oh yeah, you've still got the it's still like the ink black.
Black.
Isn't it?
Actually, can I just use my prestidigitation ring to get rid of that?
You'll have to use it a few times, but yes.
Okay.
It's already sort of started, because, it's obviously medieval hair dye. It's not like modern day hair dye, so it has already started to sort of, fade away a bit. With prestidigitation, as I said, it'll probably take a few casts, but it should be easy enough to do.
Alright. Then I guess we're going to Ulmendow first.
Okay. So, you...
I think...
Quick... No, you first.
I think... So, with it, I think we're done talking. I think at the lift suggestion, I guess, come out then. So,
just like as yourself.
Yeah, she does. Her clothing is different. It's actually looks like the clothing I've ever changed. It's like fur-lined and snow white robes. But the thing is, it looks kind of big on her because because she's bigger when she normally wears it. I wanted to, after having talked with Liv about it, decided that to just come on out and say that I am a changeling, and that I have been pretending, at least to somewhat pretending, I guess, to be who I look like. I will have her change to the look that I have right now. My name is actually Alicia. I was looking like that. I had to look different from this when I fled from Kianf, actually. I was hoping that you'd accept me regardless.
So what does Alicia look like, sorry?
Basically now she'll, bit older looking, more like younger, probably like older teens. From what you can tell, it looks like longer black hair. She still has blue eyes and is in her fur line. And
So what, about like 18-ish?
yeah, probably about like. Although I still,
Young adult age.
yeah, I am still kind of a little bit older than I look, but that's kind of. Yeah, I'm kind of short. Like I can't really grow that much bigger than this.
Nate age.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, I made her like out of character. When I made her originally, like I said that she has like dwarfism, so she's kind of short. That's why she always looked younger, because she can't look as old as like tall as like an actual full-grown adult. Quite a bit.
You're still muted, Nate. Just so you know. I just wanted to make sure.
He's been typing.
Yeah, he has been. I know. I'm just.
Typey,
I know that he went in and out there.
So can I just go?
He keeps disconnecting.
Wait, so you're not actually a little girl then?
No, I mean, we're there. I told you I did look older than I look.
Okay.
Although
Then,
I think Nemesis was the one who didn't believe me. That's just because I think
By
I
the way,
told you guys I was
Yeah, I didn't believe your age either.
If you don't mind me asking, Alicia, how old are you? I know it's rude, but I think in this this circumstance is an exception.
I guess I have 21.
All right.
You're 21 and you've been posing as a little girl?
In the end, I figured you probably would be least accepting. It's... I don't have many different looks I use, and it's just something from when I was younger.
Do we all know what a changeling is? Just out of curiosity.
So you've seen changelings.
I know what a changeling is.
I think a lot of you guys have ran into at least one.
I think it came down to Valip was the only. I think
I've just Valip just didn't run into.
I was gonna say he exposed to changeling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Valip was like the only one. No, and
Sorry,
he was the
Ryan's
one I had
killing
talked
me.
to specifically.
Ryan's just a horse.
What the hell?
No, I just... I always knew that there was something off about you.
It's fine. I was pretty sure you always knew something. Not quite the specifics of it.
Frankly, I don't particularly care about the changeling fact. I care that you acted like a little brat and posed as a child, which is frankly disturbing. This entire time.
I'm confused as well. Like, so we've been traveling for months on end right now, and you still decided just to say, you know what, sod it, I'm going to pretend to be a little girl. I'm gonna. You didn't choose at all to maybe change into something else. Why this form? Why did you choose to like pretend to be a little girl in the first place? You could be anything you want. And to be fair, I knew something was off as well. I mean, we did meet you in the fucking fighting pit to next.
Yeah,
it's not the most common places you find, teenage girls,
Yeah.
I
Also, something was off.
Sometimes even I don't know. Maybe just I do miss my younger days, I guess, before I had to flee.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Whatever.
think that Trothnar gets a free hit now.
Yeah, and I I suppose that's fair. I mean, you did break unwritten dwarven law, and you've also been lying for us for months. So and you see me just stand up, walk over to where she's sitting, and try and just in one punch try to break her nose.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack.
Let's just see how bad you roll.
He's a fighter that has a magic
I
ring that makes him better at everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you can still roll 1.
And I have 20 strength. I have +5 on my strength.
Roll fist.
Bollocks.
Oh
You know,
my
like that.
God.
He fucked it up.
After
Yeah,
all the odds.
So yes, you just miss. Like, how do we move
Yeah,
it?
she just tilts her head to the side and just.
Ah.
No, you're good.
I mean, I'm still, like, weak. You probably could knock me out in a single punch. It's not like I'm lying about how weak I am. I really am kind of weak.
How are we supposed to react to this?
Well, I have one reaction. Floriana, Elisa, whatever you said your name is now. Try to be a child on us again and try to pull one over. And I will kill you.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've let them stay with us this entire time, believing that they were a child, and we have been protecting them under the guise of this.
I've also
And
been
then they come in
ignoring
here and
how
now-
awful they've been.
Yeah, that's...
Here I thought, oh, it's just a little girl. Little girls are annoying.
I don't know. Maybe. Well.
At least it's on the table now, though.
Well, regardless, Fortune. I mean, the only times I'll do this, you know, pretending for other things is not to pretend with you guys, is to... Would be, I guess, if we need, like sneaky stuff, I guess is...
Fortune.
Yes, Violet?
It could be very useful. We could make some money. He just gives her, like, this big shit-eating grin.
I know it can. That's why I specified if they tried to pull this on us, the group.
Very well.
Delson, you've been quiet. What do you think?
I'm pretty sure his thoughts are only just gun.
I am gunman now.
I kind of wouldn't mind learning, maybe.
Instruction unclear. Continuing gun.
Valith listens into his mind and all he hears is
Yeah, Delson. Dom, speaking.
Delson's vocabulary is only 3
Guys,
words.
he's trying to talk. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I knew something was off. And I'm slightly annoyed at you pretending to be a child, and even more creeped out with you making comments like daddy and stuff.
It was.
So can you...
Extraordinarily creepy.
It was extraordinarily creepy. So I am going to ask you that. Can you please never do something like that again? And also, I am disappointed that you didn't just come out as this, like, right away. Because I don't have a problem with you being a changeling.
Exactly.
I do have a problem with being lied to, though.
I think that stands for everyone.
I mean, just look around. I mean, just like look around the table. So, for instance, you've got a boozy dwarf who's a he used to be a member of a murderous cult. You've got a literal divine creature. You've got a master. You've got a master thief from the run from the gang. You know, to be fair, a magical changeling is not that weird. Yeah.
We all have our own personal hang-ups about why. And I'll accept that. Well, obviously I always knew that it wouldn't be like, it was like, you'd be mad, but I think that this turned out better than it obviously could have. I don't
Mercy
feel the need
just
to go
kind of
into more.
scoffs and goes upstairs.
I don't feel, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel the reason to explain more about it. I feel like that about why.
I'm gonna say like
I hate being a changeling. So no, I'm just gonna stay like this pretty much probably for the rest of the time I know you guys, unless we do fortune's cons.
Well, now that we know that you can change the way you look, to what extent does that go?
My actual physical appearance, but not including my clothing, so that's why I was wearing this when I came down to any humanoid.
All right.
So, do you want a demonstration of how detailed it is?
I was just curious, because could be something that comes in handy. But for now, I think you should just stay this way.
Can you turn into a spider?
No. Well, a spider human, but no. Like,
We shall set you up at a bakery. You shall sell spider donuts.
no, I can't grow. I wouldn't. I guess say 8. I wouldn't be able to grow all 8 legs. I'd have to be stuck with 4 or less.
Could you make yourself look like Gratian?
Yes, I can.
Do you do it?
Fine then.
That was Colton asking if you just do it, but if you don't just do it, then
if you,
Gratian says, "Yeah, make you like me." Gratian said it. There we go.
Then yeah, I'll look like Gratian. The only odd thing is that I'm wearing wizard robes, basically. Because those don't change.
Huh.
Oh, I just wish to go back.
I would also like to add that you said that Floriana has dwarfism when she looks like an older teen. That is so not what dwarfism is.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
That is
just
not
like smaller.
it
You could
at
just be a
all.
smaller person.
That was how I made it originally, and one reason why I actually used Floriana in the beginning is because I made her
Either she
originally.
has dwarfism and looks like she has dwarfism, or she just looks young.
Yeah.
She looks young.
Yep.
I don't know. It's odd. I don't.
Yeah, being
I haven't worried about it since I made her originally.
Then let's just say that's not a thing. You're just smaller for the way that you're supposed to be. But that's
Yeah, that's,
abnormally
that's
short. How's
very
that?
inappropriate if we're implying that's what dwarfism is.
I know it's not, but that's why I should choose that because it's like.
Yeah, but this is a you thing. This has nothing to do with your character. We just wanted to make sure you know that.
I
But
know.
yeah,
It's,
so
it's odd. I've had problems with it. It's why I don't really. It's. I don't know. It's been a bit. I had some things I wanted to do, but now I have Alicia, and it's been a while.
that's good.
Can I ask if is my transformation into you accurate? Okay, let's see.
Yeah, it is.
Is
Look
it
like
accurate?
exactly
How well can
like
I-
Gratian?
Okay, let's say it looks pretty much like it.
Shut up, Gratian.
Are you gonna ask that in character? Because I think she'll slap you if you do ask that in character.
I don't think Gratian's gonna win a 26 in deception against insight.
But technically, actually, I don't roll this. I don't actually roll it to see how.
Yeah,
well
it's just like I don't actually know. I've looked at the
It
stat
is-
block, but it's just like disguise self, right? Like
roll the slap.
Alrighty, I shall slap Gratian because he. That.
Okay, go ahead. It's
so as
a D20 plus your strength modifier.
Is it just that?
Yep.
I get
Yeah, it's just a strength check because you don't have proficiency in it.
4.
Weak.
Yeah.
Weak punch.
Alrighty.
I'm not gonna stick around doing these.
Make
tricks.
Voleth like orders a round of drinks for everybody. Everybody that wants to drink, he'll get like a bunch of ale and whatever everybody wants, and then we
Well,
drink for the evening. Unless anybody else wants to do anything. It's kind of late in the day for in the game.
I shall give one last small performance.
Okay, go ahead and make a performance check.
Is it gun spinning? Is it gun tricks?
No.
Revolver Ocelot?
I am
Which is not.
Shalashaska, also known as Revolver Ocelot.
I shall now post what Delson shall be doing his
God.
own rendition of.
I don't know. My mind just suddenly floated around. One thing is, I actually had her grow up as a human, so she feels most comfortable staying as a human. Actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
21.
This sounds like something that Delson would sing.
Yep.
Which thing?
I get enough with fucking. I get enough content ID claim stuff. So before I'm not going to do that in case it goes to.
Oh yeah, you don't get to play it. Yeah.
I don't play it. I get enough content ID things for the music I use here as is.
Story of tonight.
Of course you would.
All right.
Right
So, you have your final round of drinks in the city of Grothfield. After you finish, you head over to the stables where your horses and donkey and elk.
This is in the morning, right?
No, it's just still. Are you like?
Are we
spending
leaving in
day?
the night? Are we leaving?
We're leaving in the night, yeah.
Oh, are we? Oh shit! I needed to do one more thing. I thought I could do in the morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Well, it was
you
just
can
something I
say in the
forgot
morning,
to
but I
do.
don't
If
know
it's
what's
okay
gonna
with Tick,
happen.
when I picked up those scrolls, I wanted to get some rare ink if they have it available, because I don't have enough to scribe all these scrolls.
I'll say that you were able to.
I need to get 200 gold pieces worth. So is that available?
Zigzit would sell that. So
Okay, then I will buy 200
we'll
gold.
say for the sake of it that while you were there with the scrolls, you bought the ink.
Sure. I just wanted to make sure I can do that. Okay, everything's good now.
So, are we all at the wagon? Are we all at the wagon then?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep. Which it's a bit of a squeeze now, what with Keg
Yeah.
in the way and everything.
How do you guys now react to the fact that a lot
Alright.
of the space of the wagon is now taken up by a keg and a shit ton of brewing supplies?
The ninth party
And
member
rations.
is this keg.
and rations as well. You kind of just smush them into a corner near the front.
There's just I still like to imagine it like kibble, and so there's just like it's in the bottom of the whole cart. It's just like you have to wait around and it rations.
Oh yeah.
All right. So which animal is being hooked up to the cart?
We said Hanel and Maelstrom.
Hanel
Yeah.
Maelstrom.
The big
Strong
boys.
Strong
Yep.
boyfriends.
The war horse.
I shall.
Yeah, I ship those
ride
two for
Dio.
sure.
Okay. So you hook them together. Fortune, as you do that, you just watch as Maelstrom just looks at Hanel and goes, "Greetings, my compatriot. It appears that you and I are tasked with this. Wait, he can't hear me, can he?
No, sweetie, but that's okay. I'm learning his language too. You'll be able to talk to him soon. I promise.
It is good to meet you, Mr. Arnold.
You can just call him
Arnold.
Nell. It's okay.
Nell. Very well. I hope we have good fortune, Nell." And for what you hear, Nemesis, Nell's just looking at us like, "I feel he's trying to tell me something, but I don't know what it is."
I don't know either, but since it's Fortune's horse, I'm sure it's something stupid.
Hey.
You don't hear that because he talks telepathically.
Yeah. She just gets the vibe that Nemesis just said that she's stupid.
All right, and I'll just... And then there's Dorian, and then there's And
just-
where's Milo in all this?
I think he's just like at the back of the cart, and I had been like reorganizing my equipment and stuff, and so I've just like tied a rope to him, and then so he like walks behind the cart. He doesn't like pull anything, but he can carry
I thought
some
Valis
stuff.
was just carrying him the entire
He doesn't
time.
get no.
Probably
He,
could.
that's hilarious. But I have like a bunch of my stuff like on him so that he can carry it. So and I realized after reading it, he just looks like a pack mule for going into like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
Because he's got like
he
a
does.
crowbar and a pick on the side of him, and like a blanket over the top, and like a hooded lantern on his side.
Oh
And he's
my
just
god,
like
he's so cute.
he's just so adorable.
I love our animals so much.
Yeah.
So much fun with animals.
And so yeah, he's just like connected to the back so that he can carry extra stuff if we need it.
Okay,
I don't know how much he could carry, but he might be able to carry the keg if at some point.
Carry, it's only 30 pounds. He can carry that amount easy.
Yeah. So he could carry like the keg if you wanted, Trothnar. We could like strap the keg to the top of Milo.
Oh god, I would feel bad though.
He likes to have a job, right?
Does he get to drink at least a little bit?
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
would. Tholith would give him some ale,
I meant
but that's up to
avoid hungry.
Trothnar, really.
Can we roll to see how much of a lightweight Milo is?
I don't know.
Trothnar, are you trying to get my donkey? Are you trying to get Milo drunk?
Hey, it was your idea, lad.
You're right,
This
it
is like
was.
my favorite emote ever.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
A donkey can carry...
Sexy Mary.
A donkey can carry
Christ.
700... not 700, 400 and... fucking 20. Donkey can carry 420, yo. 420,
Blazer.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yes,
You gonna have
420
some some weed then?
So he could easily carry the mead and the mead supplies and or the ale
Alright.
supplies and the keg. No problem.
Okay, cool. And okay, excellent. Yeah, so I saddle it to this
Yeah.
portable brewery called Milo, and I just hop on the back of the cart.
Man, this is going to be a money-making scheme.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're forgetting that we own a bunch of land in Exeter,
Yeah, we do.
Mhm.
We still do.
and so we were gonna. I thought one idea was just we start a tavern after it all wraps up.
Or just like we could make like a brewery there. You know, we could like just
like an inn.
expand the business.
Or like a museum to how great we are, and the cafe can have its own brewery.
That's just part. Yeah, like the gift shop, little figurines. Volley's working on it. Don't worry.
That reminds me. I probably should scry that place again. It's been a while.
Okay.
Can we call it the
I'll do
Taste
it
of
later.
Success
Not
Festival Reserve?
not right now. Maybe like let's say like okay, you got it wrong. We'll take a look at the scrying orb and see how our place looks. Like maybe like when we make camp or something.
What was that squeak I just heard?
I have no
I
idea.
think that was Peach squeeing, is what it sounded like.
Yes.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, see, that's my greatest accomplishment in action.
I wanna have
I
mates
just
doing this.
noticed. See, when you're Dungeon Master, you can't have a look at the Discord a whole lot. You go, I've got that page filled with notes.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty.
So,
Yeah.
well, because it's 2 horses, which, are smart because of fine steed, you don't need to make animal handling checks or anything, so you begin to head off into the night. And as you begin to head north towards the city of Ulmendal, by way of north,
Okay.
I was going to say something, and then it's like, wait, what was I saying? Fuck. So as you begin heading
No,
northwards,
it doesn't work.
as you begin
So
heading
disappointed.
heading northwards,
Why doesn't it work?
you see, you kind of like look back at the sea of Groffield, and as you do, Nemesis, you spot a figure just standing there, arms crossed, watching as you go by.
Do I recognize this figure?
Make a perception check to see if you can recognize it.
Okay.
Like, the figure's not like discreet or anything. Like it's against the moonlit backdrop and such. But 14. Although you can't see the face, you do see the familiar like dark brown cloak.
I'll just kind of wave.
Just see a hand wave back, and it turns around and heads off into the night.
Caw!
So, for the sake of this, minus anything that might happen, or anything I talk about, so this will take about 7 days or so. So, is there anything that you plan to do in the 7 days? Keep in mind, obviously, that depending on what it is, might slow you down a bit, dependingly.
Language learning!
I will do my gun training exercises.
I will probably show everyone the progress on our estate, I guess, when we make camp.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and learn languages with Fortune.
Okay, so do the same rolls that you do normally, with advantage now, because you got the books.
I did. Okay, so charisma and intelligence.
Yep.
Yeah.
With learning gun, it's a bit difficult to do.
Woo!
Because obviously, a lot of it is like aiming exercises. So unless you're, gonna stop for an hour or so to do the practice, it's gonna take a bit longer.
Can I do it like in the mornings as we get up and prepare to go?
I would say yes. So it would mean you'd have to wake up a lot earlier.
Okay.
And it would wake everyone up. You're firing a musket.
Fair enough.
Just like wakes us all up in the morning by firing a gun off.
Yeah.
Just ask for us that. Just ask one of us to cast silence on you. It's like, unfortunately, I don't have that.
All right. And with your rolls, you begin to make some good progress in the language speaking stuff. If you keep it up as it is, like after the week, you'll probably get an okay grasp, like maybe about like the level a 4-year-old would have, for example. So you're starting to get the hang of it, and you think maybe 2 or 3 more weeks like that, you'll probably be able to become fluent in it. Speaking it, not reading it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So you'd be able to, so it could be that you'll be proficient in speaking, just not reading, which is,
Hey, what up? I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never fucking learned how to read.
Looks like Delson's gonna be getting punched every morning.
Every morning, okay. Alright. So, on the 3rd day,
well, before we get too far into it, I wanted to, during the evening of one of these days, well, first of all, I wanted to transcribe my stuff while I was traveling, which I could do in the first day, and so I'll do that.
That's easy enough
for
to
sure.
do, yeah.
And so I do that. I'll have to move those over, but I wanted to, while we were camped for the night, at some point, go and under the moonlight, go out and sit down cross-legged somewhere and cast sending, because I have sending now.
Cool. Yeah.
So sorry, Tick.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I've actually been I've been equally parts looking forward and dreading for this day to come.
Yeah. So I'm going to send a message to my mother.
Ooh. Okay. Ready to count?
And it's very simple. And I have a word counter up on, on the internet so that I know this is exactly 25 words. So you can double check it if you want, but the thing I'm using says that it's 25
That's why I'm
words.
here.
And all I say is, hello, Mother. I hope you're doing well with Father. I hope you got the money I left you and have moved on to better things. It's exactly 25.
Really? I only got up to 15 on that one, but I think that's just how quickly you were saying that.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a long pause before you hear back. Valif, is that you? This is an odd experience. Your father and I are fine. Yes, we did get the money. And it cuts off there.
I say, I can cast it 3 times with all my spell slots. So, sorry, what was the thing that got cut off?
She said, was, as in, like, asking something, and then it hit the 25 words.
This can only be short, but I am traveling currently with some kind people. If I can, I will send more.
That's only like 21. So.
Yeah, that's 20. Another pause. Oh, right. I'm sorry. You are certainly free to visit, as you always have been. We're still in Platinum Hold, near the Landwalker district. Was that? And it cuts out again.
Okay.
You get the feeling from that last bit, it's like she was saying, was that too many words?
Yeah. I just need to walk. And I will send another final one. I will try and see you soon. But I can't promise anything.
Is that it? Or
no, this will be my last message for the night. I love you. Valeth. Nice, perfect. Exactly 25.
Okay. Pause, and you hear, you'll always be welcome in our home. I love you too, Valeth. You can hear her voice, like, visibly sort of like...
Yeah, trembling, sort of. Yeah.
That appears to be the end of the message.
Alright. Yeah, Valith just, like, sits out for a while, because he's had to, like, take out his Book of Shadows, and he just sits there and thinks, and then goes back eventually to the camp and continues on with the adventure.
Alright.
I have Alicia waiting there because I think I was going to have her chat with you on the first night.
Oh. Sorry.
Also,
I was doing something personal. Forgive me.
If you did it away from camp, then I imagine it's something as personal as probably something I would do.
Yes.
So, I think tonight, it's hazy on what time it is, but last night, tonight...
It's in the night, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that kind of... It definitely didn't go as bad as it really could have, because if it went as bad as I really did fear, I probably would have said bye to you guys that night. Well, or
went as bad as it could have been, you would be dead right now.
I guess that's technically true. I guess I didn't really think about the fact that coming out would actually end me death, but them killing me. Well, I guess it's true. As bad as I thought, then would be me just running. Maybe I just consider them good enough to not kill me.
You have to be fair to them, because you have been lying.
I know.
As much as it might not seem that way, you were.
Why the fuck you lying?
Deceiving all of us. It seemed most of them were aware to some extent. To be honest, I
had my suspicions, but no more than anybody in the group. But nothing concrete. I'm glad that we could. I'm glad that you could do this, and hopefully, with time, things will mellow out.
I hope so.
If you have anybody you'd like to speak to that you knew, perhaps I could speak to them for you. Not tonight, but
yeah. No, if I really want to, if for magic, I probably could authority kind of find out if I wanted or just returned by now. I've been gone for. It's not like I left like last year. It has been a time. I could have made my way back by now if I really. That's why it took so long to come out. I am too afraid to know it.
Well, that's good.
So, if anything, if we do somehow eventually end up there, I guess I'll see. But for now,
well, anyways, I need to go brush Milo. I'll like leave. Brush. I'll go brush him.
Speaking of Milo,
what?
I'm trying to heave off all of the brewing supplies and keg off his back. All 190 pounds of it.
Wait, does that mean it's time to gather around the campfire?
Oh god, is it time for like a bonding session?
For the record, we are about like night 3 into your little travel thing here.
Yeah, it's been a couple years, but
now at this point as well, just because obviously Bellum says like, at least Alyssa says like, oh, I want to, scry on the stuff. You look through it. A lot of the ground has been dug up. It appears that they're working on the basement part of the building. You can see they've got like the poles to signify like where each corner and where each room's gonna be. Work's coming on there.
Guys, we're dipping our toes into real estate.
This is gonna turn into the game House Flippers.
What's House Flippers?
It's a game on Steam that I saw Markiplier play recently, and it looks so stupidly satisfying.
Yep. Yeah, it's a game. It's exactly what there's shows that are about this where you buy shitty places that are really cheap. Normally, it's like crackheads have been living in the house, and you buy it and you pull all the shit out and tear down the walls and make it a brand new house and then sell it for a bunch of money.
Clean, upgrade, and then you sell it back for a ton of money. Yeah.
What did you say the game was called?
House Flipper. It's on Steam.
House Flippers.
And apparently it's stupidly satisfying. It's got a really high rating as well.
Yeah, it's one of those games that it's exactly you just you don't know why you're playing this game so much. But
well, Mark himself said he doesn't like cleaning, but he was loving to do the cleaning in the game. So it's it's weird. Anyway.
That's funny.
So you're able to get the brewing supplies. So you're able to get the brewing supplies off Milo alongside everything else. I assume you would have taken it off him anyway every time you came.
Yeah, at night I would definitely take it off of him.
Yeah.
Just so he can rest, because he's not just gonna stand there and be like, "This is my life now."
Well, yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation.
Oh my god.
Yep.
All right.
So funny.
Yeah. So basically, I take all this off of Milo, and I laboriously and slowly and almost I get if someone looks at me going help, I no, I'm fine. In a very macho dad way that they no one can help me. I got to do this myself.
So a fucking moron. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like a dwarf. Let's be honest.
But he's too I don't he's too proud to say I need help with this manual labor. Again, like a dad would do, and I just get all my stuff ready, and I basically start brewing ale.
All right, go ahead and make a roll with your brewing kit. I believe this is why I have the handbook here, so I can see what bleeding stat it would be.
Yeah, fuck. I don't even know brewing supplies. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
Probably
like,
intelligence or wisdom, right?
I would think that as well. I'm just having a quick look just to see if it mentions it on the equipment.
And I think it kind of depends on like how you're going about it. If you're like, I have a recipe, then it's probably intelligence. But if it's just like, I'm a dwarf, I know how to make beer, then it's probably wisdom.
I know what I'm
totally.
about, son.
That's totally it. It's just like, I'm a dwarf. I know how good ale tastes like. I'm just going to make that.
Because that's just like, this is my intuition. This is how I believe the beer should be.
Yeah.
Brewing.
So should we say wisdom?
Let me just have a quick.
Because it's not like there won't be anything in the book that's like specific about what it is. It'll just say like, this is the tools that are in there, and it might not even describe what it is because most of the tools don't have descriptions in the book.
No.
It just is the tools. Unfortunately,
Although it does say
I found that
cool
really
stuff
annoying.
can do
I would
with
prefer
this
if it told you exactly what it like.
Yeah.
The things you get out of it, but most of the tools are like just artisans' tools.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like it depends based on what you want to do. Because like it says for like woodcarvers' tools, like dexterity for fine detail or strength check to make something out of hardwood. I would say
Wisdom.
Yeah, I would say wisdom.
3, 2, 1, brew.
Hey, that's a brewer's roll. Look at that.
All right.
Shit.
Yep.
Is that an 18? Oh, nice.
So
Indeed.
obviously, there's a lot of supplies that you've got currently.
I think I literally went into a shop and said, "Give me everything I can make alcohol with," and just they gave me, have the whole shop.
You did go to a few of the bars and obviously buy.
Did you get anything special that you were like, I'm putting this in my beer because it's like your craft beer,
no,
right?
I just basically went like, oh, I know, like this, and this is like goes into like it's kind of like how beer contains like hops and barley.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can put in it.
Exactly. So I was like, right, I'm just gonna make a standard beer and work from there. So like, I just got like
Cool.
a bunch of hops and barley and like maybe like some fruit, like some dried fruit or something.
Okay. So
I kind of want to come watch him do this just to see how it goes.
I think we're all
this will be hilarious.
sitting in hesitation.
Yeah. So for the record, I just looked this up just for the hell of it, for the timeline to brew beer at home, and the brewing itself takes 4 to 4.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you let it sit for a while, and you have to bleed off
up to
the shit that
up to
comes
3
out.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of got to keep an eye on it, like scrape the stuff, like the foam off the top and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like,
you can
it
get a
might be
start on
done.
that, obviously.
So it might be ready before we make our way to Underrook.
If we're lucky.
If you're lucky and it's maintained for the
Yeah, you've got to keep an eye on it.
Yay.
Milo will watch it diligently with his keen donkey eyes.
Yep. Although, as I say, because it takes 4 and 4.5 hours, unless you decide to stop earlier so you can do it.
Can Drothner like sleep in the cart for like for the last half? If he does it in an evening, for example, can we just like load him in the cart? And
he can sleep in the cart. That's no problem.
Okay.
It's like there's only going to be a problem if it's like raining, in which case you need to make sure there's sufficient cover for him.
Is this Milo or Drothna we're talking about?
The Truffner. If you're sleeping, he's not going to fucking really care much. He'll just walk elsewhere. They're saying, oh, Truffner's sleeping in the car. It's like, well, he can do that.
Yeah.
But obviously, if it's raining, he'll need something to keep himself covered because he'll be sleeping in the rain otherwise.
Yeah, basically.
He can cover himself in food. We have a lot of that.
We make a fort out of the rations.
Sure, if you want to ruin the rations.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's true. I got a blanket. You throw a blanket over it. Have you ever made a blanket fort? Take? Come on.
Would you believe me if I said that I haven't?
Yeah, no,
Really?
I wouldn't. I would definitely
You have
believe
such
that.
a sad childhood. Okay.
That sounds such a British
My
answer
childhood,
too. It's like, actually, I
my
have a
childhood
blanket
was
for the
playing
fort.
video games. Thank you very. I guess that is kind of sad.
I'll talk about blanket fort. So when both my mom and dad were working at the Chinese restaurant, sometimes I would go and there's this corner, like I think like when the bar's not open, we just put a bunch of chairs. I'd grab blankets from home. And it's like I'd like.
Were you the like asshole kid that was at the Chinese food restaurant that was like, "Why is your child running around this Chinese food restaurant?"
No,
it's like, I know why.
No,
That's so specific. I love it. Oh my
it's just
god.
a corner off of there. I think
Okay.
I got.
Whose child is this?
But
I
yes,
would
no,
go,
I have.
I'd hide underneath in the fort and eat. It's like it just.
That
it
sounds
was
like
kinda-
a good time.
Yes,
It
no,
was kinda neat.
I never made a pillow or blanket fort in my childhood. I
Chick's
just,
like, I only make forts in Fortnite.
I don't even play Fortnite.
Cider.
No, it was all in Forge.
Little
Chick made
man.
forts in Forge.
I am
Unprotected.
5'11". I am not little, and I am not little in yet size. I am barrel chested. Thank you very much. I will not stand for these insults against my person. This is
Okay, so your homework, Tom, is to go make yourself a pillow and blanket for it some point
I
before
don't
next
have
session,
enough.
so we
will
can
be-
know.
I don't have enough
Pillow
pillows
fort
or
live
blankets.
stream. Pillow fort live stream.
You're quarantined. Make the fucking fort.
Anyway, the attacks against
Yeah,
myself aside. So, Delson, what is it that you were talking about there before all that?
Oh yeah, we wanted
So-
to do thing. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bonding session. We can either do like a truth or dare, or we can tell some stories about people that helped us become who we are.
I'm fine with the second one because I have an answer to that one.
I suppose I have an answer.
I'm gonna flip a coin, see how she's
I
willing
also
to.
don't want you guys making me do anything foolish.
Oh, come on. How foolish could we make you look?
Very, very.
We all have to look foolish sometime, Nemesis.
You people have made me walk through sewers, bail you out of jail, repeatedly. Not just once, not just twice. I'm pretty sure it's been 3 times.
Times.
Oh, 3 times a bill out jail.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll bail us out many more.
It's just...
At least try not to get in jail.
I want to punch someone. Is that just right at default mode? He's never happy unless he's causing Reaver's bodily harm.
I mean, she's a drunken brawler, right? Like, that sounds correct.
That's accurate. Yeah.
And come on, you act like it's always our fault that we end up in jail. It's not always our fault.
You commit the crimes!
No, we don't commit anything.
Nemesis just, like, gives Fortune, like, this look of just disappointment.
You're gonna say you were framed every time?
Just whatever we say, she goes, "Oh, that was never proved." Like, no matter what it is. Just it'll be,
I mean, come on, it's not my fault that I had to run away from that one time. I was picked up and carried away by Valeth. I did not have any say in this.
God, I just imagine them going, like, so you're a lesbian, right? That was never proved.
You have no proof.
How is that never proved? That is always proved with her.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very
It's
proved.
like this is the one thing I will not deny.
Yeah. Yes. It's just like, so are you? It's just like, so are you and Nemesis still together? I want to see my lawyer right now.
No. So
At some
everyone,
point, she probably would date a lawyer just to have that credibility there.
Oh my god. Alright. So,
So,
what are we
it's like-
doing?
it seems like story time is the agreed on.
About people who have had an effect on our lives?
That's
Yeah.
vague.
Okay.
Surely
and
you
this
must
is
have had
a positive thing?
Yes.
Well. Okay.
Alright then. I suppose you're starting, Delson? Our idea?
Yes. Well, so I had grown up with a father, so for a bit of my life, I never really had someone like that. At least for a little while. When things did come down to it, I did meet someone who was an old friend of my own father also has quite a high status from where I am. As such, we called him Lord Ravensong. Well, I struggled a lot when younger, a lot of things. Yet, somehow, he would always come to me, even in a lot of busy times, and he would try to give me advice or guidance, always saying that he saw a bit of my father in me. And he even helped pay for me to go to college. I probably wouldn't even be like on this continent if it wasn't for his blessing. As such, say he's made some of the biggest impact on my life from someone that wasn't within my family. You know, he's like being that father figure.
What was he like?
He is still very stern, but very noble. Including one of the laws he has established for us is that we shall never leave behind an ally, no matter the situation. That is a law I have seen him live by many times. Even if it were something that could threaten his own life, if it was someone close to him, he was the first one to rush out to provide aid. Still is, though I'm certain age will start to catch up with him eventually. Hasn't yet, though.
Sounds like you got a lot from him.
He did, and I owe so much. For other
Well,
reasons.
maybe you can introduce us to him in the future if we ever go to Naza.
He sounds like a good man.
Perhaps. If they can.
Hmm.
So, who's up next?
Well, when I was young, before I had to go and start helping my parents work in the mines, and even while I worked, I knew a herbalist. Her name was Sally. She was a gnome, actually. Quite old, with silver, white hair. And I'm not sure what drew me to her, but she ran a sort of a shop, little place people could buy Paul uses, remedies for things. And she taught me all sorts of things about nature, about the world, introduced me to the stars, and to the things that they don't teach you anywhere else, the things you can only learn from wise old sages like herself. And she was very kind, quite prickly on occasion, but as I grew up, she grew older, and unfortunately, she was taken by the by the by the law, by those who run Platinum Hold, and accused her of witchcraft. And I was only about 17 when that happened. It's quite sad. I'm not sure what's happened to her, but
Do you know if those accusations were true?
well, she was a wise old woman. They weren't exactly wrong. But I don't think that she was nefarious in her intentions. Just not someone that they wanted around, who's speaking out about things that they thought didn't concern her. I think that's maybe where I get it from, but I'm not sure. I hope that she's doing okay, but she was quite old last I saw her.
Well,
Anybody else?
Maybe someday you'll meet again.
I hope so. I may have to try contacting her. If she's still alive, then maybe I can help her out. Violet just sort of like stares off into the night towards the moon.
I suppose I could go next.
Of course.
While I'm not particularly gushy or emotional, I would honestly say, without a shadow of a doubt, that my older brother Norium is a very, very good man. He was really my only light when I was still living with my family, still associating with them. My father was a doormat and an enabler, and obviously you know about my mother. Norium never stood for any of that. I think many people mistake him for almost uncaring about the things that go on, but he's the one that taught me about the world and how things actually were and how people should be treated, even though I'm not very good at it. And he's the reason that I'm here today. He was the one that helped me escape.
I see. Maybe since we're heading that way, we'll end up seeing him.
Brother.
I'm not sure if he'll be there. I don't know if he has left Ulmendale yet, if he's doing something there, but I know that he has the same idea as me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see. Maybe we'll see him if we go there. Sounds like a good thing.
I just hope he's well. He said he's been suffering from nightmares.
Oh.
I don't know what that means, but Norium is very intelligent. He wouldn't be experiencing these things or be worried about them if there wasn't a reason to worry.
Suppose maybe a lift could be helpful.
Of course.
Hopefully we can figure that out when we arrive at Ulmendale, and hopefully I won't be captured.
Mm-hmm. That would.
So, who next? I'm not one to be mushy.
Well, even am I, to be honest, but it's got to be done. Now, thinking about it's hard. Most people will end up being like key, like the role model material. Turn out to be cunts every, at the end of it, so. Any of the people I liked or commanders I expected from the Wardens ended up being murderous arseholes. Family members ended up being traitorous arseholes. I do remember the one time. God, I can't remember who it was. It was when I was living out in the wilderness. So, long story short, joined the Wardens, realised the Wardens were a load of dicks, left the Wardens, faked my death, and then started living in the wilderness, drifting from town to town, waiting for, I don't know, trying to avoid Warden hitmen, or at some points wishing they'd find me, that kind of thing. I do remember once, I can't remember, was it like it was definitely the first century. The first half century, sorry. And it was definitely like north, but not like full on, like Dragon Kingdom north. I can't remember what it was, like the Chianti kind of way. And the rain was coming down fucking fierce, and I was walking down an old dusty trail and came across an old farm. Ran into the barn, hoping it was full of nice, soft, dry straw where I could bed down for the night, and thankfully it was. Unfortunately, I pissed off a lot of the animals that are already in there, caused a big ruckus. But with I managed to somewhat calm them down, sort of say that I was a friend. I even had some little scraps of food to offer themselves. I wasn't here to hurt the farmers' prize cattle, but I made enough noise to rouse the farmers, and it was an old man and his wife. Couldn't have been younger than 60. And I think it's quite old for you guys. And obviously thought it was a thief. So he barged in with him and his wife close behind him to see what was going on, and holding a pitchfork in front of him, and barged open the door and to face someone, trying to rustle his cattle, and all he found was a bedraggled, crazed-looking dwarf. He was shouting all manner of horrible things, basically, why? Who are you? What are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here! How dare you? You know, don't you dare steal my cat! I'll kill you! You know, all this kind of garbage, right? And then his wife tugged him from behind. Not in that way. I know what you're fucking thinking, you dirty bastard. And took him aside and said something about how obviously I meant no harm, and it's by the look of me that, you know, I was obviously some fucking poor vagrant. And then the man put his foot down, stormed back to his house with his wife, and I could hear from the other side of a great hullabaloo, a massive argument, of which, by the sounds of it, the wife won. And I could hear the old words. I could piece together they were arguing about whether to, you know, call the, you know, go see if they could find the nearest Lord's Guard, or, you know, chase me out of town, or what it was. What happened was, he had a knock. Just I was trying to get back, just about to get to sleep. He had a knock on the barn door, and it was the farmer's wife. She had a fresh blanket and a gorgeous clean blanket and a mug of I think it was ale or mead or something like that at the time, and just said what her name was. I can't remember now. I think it was Ermin something. I can't remember what it was. God, so fucking basically said, "You have nothing to fear. We have a spare room in the house. We have food and warmth. You can have it if you like." And yeah, at that point I was already sleeping rough and had a tent for myself for about 30, 40 years by that point. Just a friendly face was brilliant, and just I walked in, took off my wet clothing and huddled by the fire to keep warm, and she came behind, hung it by the fire to dry it off, and said, "We have a spare room. Our son is off to went off to join the army, so we got a spare room that you could stay in." And I had my first good night's sleep for about 40 years. Got woken up with a fresh glass of water from the nearby well, and a nice rasher of bacon and an egg, and just said, and I tried to, whatever coin I got from doing all manner of work for local people, you know, like tending their fields, killing animals, scaring away wolves, that kind of thing. I had a couple of gold on me, and I tried to offer her to give it to her, and she refused, refused, and just said no, just the gratitude was enough for her. And even though her husband would still basically didn't take his eyes off me since I stepped into their home, I think he was a good man as well. I just remember her, that she was one of the only kind faces for a long, long time. Well, and her and a small child, I found, like another farmer's child years later, who, you know, for some reason wasn't terrified of me. And then you lot. But I just remember the face of, even though I was a terrifying, horrible monster who was living inside her cowshed, that she just saw me as another soul that needed nurturing and a bit of kindness. And so I always think, if there's ever some person who wasn't back in my soiled, waterlogged shoes, always be kind, always never think with your gut reaction, never think, you know, go straight to the violence, never go for the straight for get the fuck away from me. Always try to put your mind in your mind in the other person's brain and be that kind face, you know. So that's just someone I remember, but wasn't a total cunt, you know. There, basically it. Right, who's next?
I am glad to help. I guess I can go. My childhood friend, really very young, about like 5 and 6. Her name was Lily, and she was just one of the few people who I got along with in general in the village, because I don't really know. I don't really know my parents. Some changelings are really so terrified of being found out that they'll abandon their children. And as far as I'm aware, I was one of them. But I ended up, and she was the one friend I ended up having. Thanks. We got along very well. Unfortunately, she ended up passing. We were playing in some of the more dangerous parts of it, and she got badly, and she just was gravely injured, and unfortunately, I couldn't save her. I didn't have my magic back then, so not like I could have protected her. After that, after she passed, I was, I guess, she asked for me to it's hard to say, but I ended up going to live with her family after that, and her family was the one that raised me when, well, I guess that also is sadly to say at the same time, family that also rejected me, but
Nem just looks absolutely horrified. So you pretended to be this dead girl?
No insight.
It's a tad mildly dubious, lass.
Yeah.
Fine then.
And you tricked her family into thinking that she was still alive and that she was you.
Fine. That's why I was thinking about not even talking about it. I know it's stupid.
No, it's not stupid. It's kind of monstrous.
Yeah, that's
fine. We agreed on it.
I think that family had every right to be furious.
Right. Fine then. Doesn't mean I don't regret it now. So I've never went back.
I'm sure that you do. We're just catching on to this, though.
Yeah.
I didn't want. That's why I thought about not.
It's a lot to take in.
Who's next?
Process it however you wish. Yes, I'm done talking.
Fortune or Raya?
Please, someone.
I guess I can go next. I mean, I don't. She kind of sighs. I don't have some sad or happy past background. I mean, to be honest. And she kind of stops, looks at all of, and then kind of looks to the side and blushes a little. I guess y'all are the only positive influence we really had. Well, except for Fortune. I think she's a bad influence in a good way.
But we love you.
But
That's
I don't know.
actually very sweet.
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
Ugh, please, okay. There's someone next. Let's get out.
Time for group hugs. Everybody hug the pony.
Oh no group hugs.
I think we're echoing because of Tom.
No, it's
No, it's
Or Sab? Is that Sab?
Yes,
it's sad, yeah.
It's perfect.
Sorry. Here, let me see if it's better. Is that better?
but
Yeah.
Test.
Ooh ooh.
Hello?
It's not as bad.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm on my phone. It's bad about that.
Let me see.
The one
worry about
with the headphone jack issue, or
No, I have to just do it through like my. It's like if I was listening to music, so I think y'all are so loud it kind of echoes back. If that makes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense, yeah.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh ooh.
Are you my echo? Yes.
Hello? Who is this?
Oh my god. Okay.
No.
Who's next?
We can make it more cursed. We could go baby shark.
No.
Nani?
Okay, who's next?
I'd say that I can relate to Raya with how you've affected me. However, none of you have really affected me that much. Apart from, you know, you all being partially responsible for my death.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry about that.
But apart from you all, I'd say that one of the few people that have actually shaped who I am today would be my father. He was the one. He was the one that taught me archery, how to actually use my bow. He's a proud elf. He really wanted to hammer that home. And despite how, as I grew up, I kind of preferred the whole, playing card games, dice games, where, they were my cards and my dice. He still gave me this direction to sort of get on the way to become some sort of hunter. It didn't exactly work out, although I do remember that kind of stuff, and I figure that what he's done for me has helped a lot, considering that my bow has been much more useful to you all than my cards have ever been. And it's just as simple as that.
It is very simple. But
Was
also,
this the same father you, if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a while, that you almost killed by throwing an axe or shooting an arrow at?
You remember incorrectly, because I didn't almost kill him. I shot him in the hand. It was totally fine.
Yes.
And may I also remind you that he's the one that left me hanging by a tree for half a day.
That was the story. I've forgotten the exact specifics, but all right.
But yeah, he could have shrugged it off.
It was only a tiny wound. He'll be fine.
So, was
Well,
it like
then-
you like shaking him through the hand? He left you in a tree for a day?
Yes, remember he, yeah.
Yes, it's a perfectly acceptable trade-off.
Oh, that
well
depends,
then,
lad.
I've never heard someone doing that.
How do you think I know cure wounds?
I suppose.
Desperate times
That
call for desperate measures.
A fair point.
That's the only reason he let me go.
By sheer willpower, you just learned it.
At,
Power of
like I say, desperate
being
times call.
ranger.
Is that everyone, or is?
I think so.
I don't. Has
I don't think
Fortune
Fortune.
spoken yet?
Oh no, Fortune hasn't. Sorry.
I mean, I don't really have much to say. My mom and dad were pretty influential. Somewhat. Dad was a teacher, mom was a cleric. Neither of those stuck with me, as you can clearly see.
Yes.
You're a black sheep definitely
No.
then.
Yeah, we can.
First girlfriend was the one that taught me how to steal, though. It was pretty nice.
What, do you learn all your tricks of the trade from women?
Pretty much. I mean, we stole something pretty neat first time. We stole a dog.
What?
Dog.
We
What?
stole a dog.
Dog napping.
The fuck
Yeah.
you steal a dog for?
Why?
I don't know, we were teenagers. Why not steal a dog?
That's horrible.
God, teenagers are that.
Look, we steal the dogs, they
Did
go
you give
missing.
the dog back?
Well, yes, once they put out the missing flyers, then we go collect the reward for it. It's very easy.
Oh yes, yes.
One of those.
I must just pat Fortune's shoulder.
What kind of dog was it?
in her head.
I do love.
It was one of those yappy little dogs, you know, the ones that are always like shaking, big heads, really weird ears.
Ah yes.
Oh,
Those
disgusting.
those aren't very good at. Those aren't. They don't have a lot of meat on them.
Exactly. And because people have to take care of them, they care a lot about them, so they give you a lot of money to get them back.
Boeth.
We just ignore his comment on that.
What the fuck was that?
What?
Sometimes.
Very odd way to say, that's a very odd thing to say about a dog friend.
Sometimes.
I do love that this whole session has just been finding out that we're all terrible monsters.
Well,
Excuse
I think
you, you're not all terrible monsters.
Yeah, I'm
I
alright.
think this has come up before, but
Just
in the poorer
I'm only
districts
normal
of Platinum,
monster.
yeah, in the poor districts of Platinum Hold, there are plenty of stray dogs. And exactly, Gratian. Sometimes things are desperate.
Please don't continue. Please.
yes, I would rather not talk about it.
I'm begging you, don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually did
I'm
remember
sorry, but
somebody
it's true.
Huh?
Speaking on what you said, Valis,
Yes.
I knew someone who claimed he ate a dwarf.
Oh.
What?
Well, that's certainly worse,
What?
right? Right? Right, Trotnar?
What?
Look, he was a
Hold on.
senile old man. We don't really question him much. He claimed to have done a lot of things.
Did he say how it tasted?
No.
No.
With or without the hair?
Clearly with the hair.
I imagine that would be part of the texture.
Exactly,
I
that's
just-
like the
I
only
just
thing
like-
that he commented on.
I just look very shifty and
Oh
like,
my
what the
goodness.
fuck is going on? I just go,
I think this has gotten far from what we were originally going on.
You
Well,
made
yeah.
that,
We need to talk
Nelson.
about.
Alive.
We don't need to
Oh,
talk
if
about
he's still
dwarves.
alive.
Don't worry, Trotnar. I'm not going to eat you.
I just very sheepishly just go. I need to go check on the ale and just walk off.
I have a question, though, since we're talking about dark things. Not eating people. Oh dear lord.
Mm-hmm. Judging senile old man's there.
Look at Floriana, or Alyssa, whatever your name is.
Alicia?
Alicia.
What?
That form that you took before, was that Lily?
No.
No.
No, I rarely change into her. Mostly when I do reminiscence.
Could we...
And that's disturbing. I'm done. No, I'm done. I'm going to bed. I'm taking Fortune with me. And don't. No. All of you stay away from us.
keep it down.
We have knives.
Just make sure you guys keep
I have
it
many
down.
knives.
Don't make enough noise. We have to sleep, after all.
I mean, you
And
guys
you-
can just move your tents farther
and you
away.
And you hear me from a distance away by the cage just go, also, if I wake up to any of you trying to eat me, I'll fucking kill you.
Trothnar, you're too
Can we
fat
get
to
off
be
the-
eaten.
It's
Can we
okay,
get off the
Trothnar.
subject of eating people?
It's okay, Trothnar. I can't sleep anyways.
I'm done. Good night.
That's not making any better.
Goes to the tent.
On the way back, Fortune just nudges Nemesis. You know, I can teach you how to eat people.
Ha.
First
What?
pet. First pet. Next time, definitely first pet. There's no way
Do every night
get
if you
this
want.
off the rail for it.
Delson, are you sure you want to talk about that?
What did you have?
Is that a dog?
Well, we had a dog once. No, well, it doesn't say that.
Alright, so.
We're doing pets. I'll say that she had a cat named
Oh,
Alyssa.
this conversation is so awesome.
I'm just
so good.
imagining.
You should have just gone with Truth or Dare.
I'm just imagining.
No, this is perfect.
I'm just imagining with the whole what she calls it, the whole I'm taking Fortune and leaving. I just imagine that that Captain, I think it was like the Captain America thing where it's like one goes fucking, you just have Captain America go. It's like just each panel moving. I forget who it is, like Spider-Man, I think, away, and he's just constantly gasping. You guys know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just imagine that's Nemesis doing that with Fortune. It's just like I heard some of that. Yeah, it's like I ate a dog once, and Nemesis just.
Great.
Anyway, as you bed down for the night after a interesting little talk, as you look over in the moonlit sky, you can see far in the distance, but due to its size, just visible at the farthest part of your vision, the joining bridges of Jurhan.
Ooh.
It is only about 100 miles or so away, and you can see it just about. And Nemesis, you especially know that for the first time in a few months, this is the closest that you've ever been to essentially what was your home before you left. And that's what we're going to call it good for this session.
Nice.
Woo!
That was fun.
Yeah.
I did have stuff planned, but obviously we've ran up to...
That's okay.
Yeah, we've ran up to that part. And it's to be honest, when I was looking at it, it's like, I've only got about half an hour left, so it's probably not going to be a good idea to throw anything crazy anyhow.
Fair enough.
I thought that was fun. It was a lot of RP. It was very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And
Yeah,
we're off to
Mark,
Ulmendal,
for-
which I am so glad that there was a choice there, because I've, for the past 2 weeks, have been like, shit, where are they going to go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I
went
mentioned this
with
before. Like, you guys were at, that free roam part of the game where it's like you can go to loads of places.
Yeah, you have a big choice. You're like, I had to prepare so much, and they might not. I'm not going to use like 3/4 of it.
Yeah, like it's like they could go to Underrock, they could go to Ulmendal, because I knew like those were going to be options because of what you were going to get. But it's like they could also go after Valve's Vision, or they could go somewhere else.
We could have gone
Go
anywhere, and we went down the route of, I knew this old man who ate a dwarf.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
We could have been like, hey, let's take a ship to my home.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Oh my god, you guys in the chat.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
And this is where